Just when they thought we were out, they pull us back in. We are here.
Oh.
Season 5. We are here. Welcome to Good Earners Reviewing the Sopranos. And here on Good Earners, we like to talk about family, finessing, finances, and feelings in the world of Tony Soprano, bringing you a new perspective, a fly perspective, and a black perspective. Spike Lou, Rich, what's going on with you brothers, man?
What it do, what the business is. Glad to be back in the saddle, man.
You know, I walked in here with the biggest scowl on my face, looking for the biggest, blackest motherfucker on the podcast, so I could take this thing over.
That was great.
You are something else. This man held this in. I did not know this was coming, bro. That was really good. Dang, that was fire.
Hey, shout out to Feach Lamanna, man.
That's out to Feach, man.
When is this guy not telling the story?
Yeah, that part. Oh man, hey y'all, but y'all know what we here for our new listeners. Welcome to the show. For those that have been here, y'all know how we give it up, and I hope that y'all Monday is about to get exciting. We're about to get into
Mafia Mondays,
or in the words of Mo, we call it Melfi Mondays, especially on an episode like this one. Yeah, but before we give Spike the synopsis, we do like to acknowledge the supporters of ours. So there was a few that had wrote in the meantime, between the break or maybe before the episode came out last time. Rich, one of our faithful listeners, I believe Jordan,
shout out to Jordan.
Shout out to Jordan. She brought some really good. We talked about a woman's perspective, and we got another woman's email. So I'll read that one after the one that Rich has. So would you care to share for the listeners?
Yeah, absolutely. First and foremost, shout out to Jordan. You know what I mean? I really rock with Jordan. You know what I'm saying? She know what it is. She's been a big supporter of ours. I believe, what episode? I can't remember which episode it was, but there was one where I was like, man, I can already know, you know, she gonna have something to say, because she's one of the few women that we know about that listen to the show.
Yes, one of the very few.
You know, she don't hold no punches, man. She's well-educated, smart woman. But she does enjoy our banter and our content. But she gave a real good feedback to our Whitecaps episode and gave her perspective from Carmela's perspective and Tony's perspective. So she reads, Jordan here with my finally solicited opinion. So for me, I don't think Carmela initially wanted all the material things that Tony has provided for her over the course of the marriage. However, I think it's becoming something of a consolation prize for her, and it is seemingly the way that Tony expresses his love for her and or hides his guilt for her doing his dirty work on the side, i.e. the emerald ring. I also don't believe that receiving gifts is Carmela's love language, but again, it's what she's become accustomed to from Tony. Perhaps she's settling because she knows that she's never going to get the affection or quality or whatever it is that she really wants from a romantic partner, which is also why she has the wandering eyes for Vic and now Furio. Looking at both of them, they don't have nearly the amount of money, wealth, or status that Tony has, but she was infatuated with them anyway, which tells me that she was never materialistic, and perhaps it was actually Tony who created this materialistic image of her because it's the only way he knows how to keep her on the hook. Now, to bring it home, earlier in the episode, Tony said to Carmela that when they were piss poor, the Whitecaps was the biggest dream that they could think of, which tells me that Carmela was romantically invested in Tony long before the money came into play. So maybe they are both at fault. I lost my track. All right, so maybe they are both at fault for the materialism that defined their relationship now, but to me, it's very clear she didn't marry him with a materialistic viewpoint. And maybe Carmela knew Carmela knew what Tony could be capable of as far as income, but I just don't see that given the way her character was written and the backstory The Sopranos and many Saints of Newark gave us for her. Just my 3 cents on that. Another great episode, y'all. I can't wait for season 5 and the Spike Lee original because bitch has become a regular quote in my household.
Yeah. I said, bro, you go viral over here with that joint. You said that about 4 times. I was like, yo, that's the Metro. That's the Spike Lee drop right there, boy.
Everybody real them been in that situation. They felt that Spike. When Spike said that because if you've really been there, you know exactly what because
man.
bitch, like, are you playing with me? Stop playing with me.
Bro. Like that was
You
fire.
know, you know me.
Yeah. Jordan, man,
Thank you, Jordan.
I think you summed it up better than we did. I would, if I were to be honest, I think that I'm not gonna say we mansplained it. I ain't gonna go that far, but I would say that that grown woman's insight is exactly what's needed in moments like these. And I think you nailed it. I think that was a small detail that will go over our head that, like, remember when we were so poor, like we didn't even think about that statement. You know what I mean? So I think that was really, really great insight. I've been pondering this since we got that message. So shouts out to Jordan, man.
Nah, shut out. Yeah, that's definitely something we couldn't have given as from our
As
perspective.
man, yeah, that was a great perspective.
Yeah, but I'm like, damn, Tony, because Tony, as we see in this episode, Melfi called him out on it. There's a lot of stuff that he wants and takes by force and all that. So it's I could see him doing the same to Carmela without her even knowing. Carmela pisses me off. If there's reasons that Carmela pisses me off that it will never be, I don't care how well written the perspective is. Yeah. Carmela ain't getting off on certain things, but I do appreciate that. Shout out to Jordan.
And one more before we get into the show, from Monica Goldberg. Her subject line, nothing happened, obviously referring to the line I kept saying on Whitecaps. She says, greetings, gentlemen. Love the pod. I have DM'd y'all on IG, but the topic requires an email. I've heard your frustrations at Carmela for being so devastated by Furio's departure when nothing happened, but it did. I have heard and believe that when cheating happens in a relationship, the issue with the relationship the issue is with the relationship, not the individual being cheated with. Carmela literally says to Tony that she felt seen, listened to, and valued by Furio, which you all have noted does not happen in her marriage. So when Furio leaves, the bomb is removed, and she is left with the anguished reality of her marriage, where she doesn't receive the kind of attention she got from Furio. Sex is much less important than the recognition as a thinking, feeling human with something valuable to say. I don't know if this is helpful, but there it is. I agree more could have been done with Furio's character, and both of them were annoying at times. As she closes, but Carmela did experience a real loss when he left, and I'm not surprised it caused her to break up the relationship after the Irina phone call. Keep up the great work. Again,
appreciate you, women.
Yo, come on through, women. Go on.
Incredible, man. Now we need. Yes. I love that. I love that. I wouldn't mind having,
bruh.
When it gets to relationship stuff, I wouldn't mind reaching out myself just to get a better perspective.
I mean, you know,
some things I'm just
because they did it clear without. Hey, I can't even go. That's another week of the book conversation. But thank you, Monica Goldberg, for that. That was fire. We look forward to. When we wrap this thing up and we start doing more Back of the Bing episodes, we definitely want to have some women viewers and listeners and have some conversations about certain aspects of The Sopranos. So we look forward to extending that conversation with most of you. So thank y'all for the messages. Go ahead.
I'll even speak this into existence right now, because I will say the one thing I really appreciate, the time that people take to like leave comments. Like we've been reading comments now for a consistent while.
Yeah,
I would love to start knowing where people are from. You know what I mean? Because I wouldn't mind, doing a pull up live show or something, talk about Sopranos one day.
You know, come on, man.
This is all wrapped up. Anything is possible. Anything can happen, man.
Yes.
We find the right area where people want to do it. I think we all pull up, talk some Sopranos, really enjoy some thoughts, because these are not the flash in the pan. These are in-depth conversations that you see by the episode length. So shout out to y'all, man. Y'all keep that juice flowing on those just another envelope episodes we might not be the most excited to hear about. Your comments and feedback keep us going and wants us to keep pushing through. So thank y'all for that, for real.
Facts. Agreed. Everything that you said. I wish too, when people will comment, start including, is this their first time watching the show, or how many times they have been, like how many watches have they done? I love.
Like when did they tap in? When did they start listening?
Yeah,
what
I love
episode?
To know that. Yeah, just like with their Sopranos origin story. Did they watch it in real time? Did they go back and binge it? I'd love to know like that.
That's fire. Yeah, I would as well. And yeah, man, you never know. We might do a live show at the pork store.
Whoa,
that's crazy. A live show at the pork store is nuts.
Whoa.
Hey,
Spike Lee, what episode are we reviewing today, man?
this is season 5, as you previously mentioned, episode 1, entitled "The Two Tonys." Mo Rich in the premiere of season 5. Tony has officially moved out. Carmen and AJ have an unexpected visitor at the house, and Tony wants to spark things up with Dr. Melfi again. Some of the made men from the class of, I think it was 95. Do I have that right? What's the class?
2004.
2004.
04. Some of the made men from the class of 04 are coming home, starting with Feach LaMotta. Man's always got a story. Chris and Paulie have a story and a rift over a tab, and Carmine plays his last round of golf. This is season 5, episode 1, entitled "The Two Tonys."
We go to scene 1. We get a montage of the Sopranos house, which became a signature. What was it, after season 2? Or was it 3? 2, yeah, I believe. But obviously they're setting the tone pretty early. The grill is open, the pool is closed, it looks desolate. The newspaper gets ran over by Meadow. Anything y'all want to add to this opening? What did y'all feel when y'all seen this? I don't know if y'all remember in real time, but just seeing this, like, yo, it's different. Tony's not there. He ain't grabbing the paper this time. Did that feel any different to y'all? I know we've seen this a few times, but
The only thing I'll say, mainly because we've been discussing it, we've talked about where these seasons stand and the theme and the tone of them. We've been telling you for a while that season 5 is kind of like its own standalone.
yeah.
It's that beginning of the end. I think, and I was mad at myself because I didn't say it when we were recording, but I was listening to one of the episodes and I had mentioned, like, it's when you look back at things and then you realize this was the beginning of the end. You don't know it at the time, but you look back at it. I wanted to make the comparison of it's almost like when Seal came over Tony's house and realized the Christmas party. Like Santa, that's when he realized that's when that same aha moment, that's how when you watch Sopranos enough, that's how you look at season 5. Crib looks dark, it looks desolate. I think they got that from Godfather Part 3. When you open that up, the vacation homes is empty because the family ain't together no more. You know what I mean? It even looks a little darker as far as the tone. And even if the family was together, things are moving along. Meadows picking up AJ to lead the crib. They got to lead the crib to do it. If you've ever been a part of a separation or divorced child, you know what it's like to do those 2 different dinners and 2 different. As a kid, you know it's one thing, but it's still a pain, man. I don't want to do that. It's still an inconvenience, and it's all types of stuff. But you can just see things are different than what it's been, and it sets the tone for that perfectly in this opening shot. And AJ's a fucking dick, man.
Oh, okay, we about to dog him this episode. We're gonna go get that.
Oh,
all you AJ apologists, this ain't the episode for him. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
You could tell.
Double off.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
To double up on what Rich said, this one, the tone is set very well. In real time, you ask Mo, it does feel like they even make you feel different without him going and doing the signature newspaper shot that they started every season with up until this point. So yeah, it even looked like it's shot different. Just the whole presentation is different. And like you said, going back and looking at it a couple of times, and I'll speak to the scene when we get to it, but this is specifically heading to the end. This is the end of the road. It ain't no more building the Sopranos world. It's how is the Sopranos going to end? Like we're closer to how the Sopranos going to end versus introducing you to this world now.
And you know what? This is more of an episode thing, more than that scene thing, Mo. But you mentioned noticing something for the first time. Tony really starts not to be. This sounds crazy because we know we're not supposed to like Tony. We like him because of we're able to make our own decisions because we see the full scope of everything. But Tony's just this episode. I don't know if it's because he's going through his shit. He's just not a likable person. Like it's like, damn, man, you starting to turn into something else. And that goes into what we're saying, that beginning to the end, that different tone, 2 Tonys. Like we're starting to see that other Tony come out a little bit more. Like I said, I know that probably has a lot to do with the divorce and his life situation, but whatever.
Yeah. Like I always say, it always started by when he whacked Ralph. I think that is the beginning. You know, we referenced that, so that's a great call. But I did want to say, man, what's up with Meadows' choice of music, bro? Her music choice is bad as Janice. Remember Janice pulled up to him.
What's up with her whip not being clean?
Hey, what's up with the whip, bro?
Yeah, where's Finn at,
Tony
bro?
would never let that shit.
I was just about to say that, Spike.
Yeah, it was dirty. She was just cruising, but Well, I ain't gonna even go there. I was about to say something. But I love our women, so I'm not gonna even go there. There's a lot of things I can say right now that I'm not.
Yeah, man. We just shouted out two women
Yeah, I ain't
before.
gonna,
Now you
and I
about to
don't mean
take
that
it
in that.
back.
Yeah,
You about to
that's
get
why,
you about to get another message,
bro.
Mo.
Oh, I got another
Right.
message for you. GoodHurterPod@gmail.com. But no, shouts out to our women. We go to the next scene. Tony and Bobby, they're watching the news about the mobsters from the 80s are being released, class of 04. It's a lot of things going on here, man. Again, setting the table for the tone. So far, so good. So, what did y'all gather from this? What are some pieces that kind of stood out to y'all?
You have to losing Ralph was just a big thing. That's your big antagonist. We know what happened when Richie came.
Mm-hmm.
One and done as far as seasons go. We knew early on Ralph came on the scene. All right, Ralph's gonna be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
We get rid of Ralph. So now what? What's next for Tony Soprano? What's next for the family? It can't just be your family life is shaking up. It can't just be that you're separated. So we've been teasing. I know we've been talking about Phil Leotard and Feast Lamana was mentioned in the when Ralph told Jackie and his friend that story about how Tony and Jackie made their bones with the card game.
Mm-hmm.
They mentioned like they robbed Feast Lamana's game. So we're starting to see these characters that they dropped Easter eggs for.
Mm-hmm.
And you need something that's gonna, all right, then this is gonna be this new blood, like back in the fold, that's gonna be a problem. That's gonna be a thing to look at this season. So that was the biggest thing for me. We don't know it at the time, but man, some classic characters in this class of 04.
Mm-hmm.
And also, from Tony's perspective, it's more problems, man. I'm the boss. Like things are easy, things are like cool now. When made men come home, the first thing they're trying to do is get back in the action. They're trying to get back in the action, man. So what's this look? We see later on, we'll talk about it further. Tony has a conversation with Feach. As long as you're not stepping on anybody's toes, like, you got to watch out for stuff like that. Like, I don't know you. You don't know the lay of the land. You've been going since the 80s.
I can't wait to get there.
It's 2004. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know how things run. To me, I'm still a fat little kid.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be tougher for me to, like, keep up with all this shit.
Yep, that's a great point you brought up as far as the antagonist. And I remember originally looking at this, looking like, okay, somebody from this group gonna have to be the antagonist since we no longer have Ralph. So who is it? I remember wondering that initially.
Yeah, I thought it was just I agree with both of you fellas. I think it was a brilliant way to explain new characters coming in. Again, this is we applaud David Chase and all those writers involved with this. It's just a brilliant way to introduce these people, and I just really enjoyed. I also a few things that stood out to me is Bobby has his feet up and he's saying how long is dinner. Like it just that means he's fully immersed. Like there's always that transition from like, oh, you start doing everything in the early dating stage to now you get to that kind of lazy, you kind of drop off. It seems like Bobby is having a version of that right now. And obviously, Janice has been doing it. We'll find out later in a conversation with Johnny Sack and Tony. A year has passed. So that gives us a timeline. I know Spike has spoke about you never know the timing from season to season. So I'm glad that they gave us that. But yeah, they talk about Angelo, who is formerly Carmine's consigliere. Big Phil Leotardo was a captain. On the Jersey side, we got Feach Lamano. I don't know if he was a soldier or captain. Ain't really.
Nah, he ran his own crew. It used to be the Lamana crew.
Okay,
the Lamana crew in the 80s before he went away. It ain't around no more. But yeah, he was a player.
Okay, and then they bring Tony, and they say Tony Blundetto. I guess he's like the rising star or whatever. But I'll just say
Len Bias,
bro.
He was supposed to be that one before his career got cut short.
Yeah, definitely Lynn. Definitely rest in peace, Lynn.
No. Tony B.
Tony B.
Oh, Tony B. Gotcha.
But something I don't know about y'all, and we'll have this conversation later and later in the series. I'm gonna put this nugget out here now, though. Just seeing him with the long hair, like, and she's like, he used to be a fox. It's something about Steve Buscemi, bro, that just never quite fit this, bro. It never really curled over. It never
being a mobster.
Yeah, like everything, but we'll get there as far as he's not.
I know exactly what you mean,
but it's everybody knows that like when you see it's like, y'all. There's other people y'all could. There could have been a lot of other people y'all could have cast for Tony Blundetto. I'm gonna be all the way real. But anyway, we'll get there. I don't want to jump the gun on it, but it's just when I seen those photos on the TV, it made me think that.
You know what's funny? we won't spend a ton of time on this. I think the photos make it look. I think they actually kind of did a good job because how he
Yeah.
is now, where he is in
I
life, as
was
far as not want to be connected,
I'm gonna
makes it a
say
little bit more believable.
I was gonna save it till we got to him, but yeah, that I have a similar thought, but I'll
Because
wait
when I
till
look at this
Oh, okay.
photo of him with the long hair and the gold chain out with the suit and holding that newspaper, he
that work.
looked like a young dude that's trying to make his way. He
Yep.
looked like Chris of the '80s. Like it's about to be some action.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Nigga was setting off car bombs, man. Come on, like he was on it. But now it looks like that, that's passing by. And then we find out obviously there's more to the story between who was with Tony the night he went away,
Mm-hmm.
how things could have looked. A lot of revisionist history.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. I see the photo. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
But I get what you're saying. Like as a whole, like if you just drop them in this world and tell me this supposed to be somebody, I'd be like,
Yeah. No, go ahead. I don't want to step on it. You may say something about it.
Nah, I'm gonna let it marinate. I don't want to dig too deep into the character because I know we got so much as far as more analysis about Tony Blundetto, and of course there'd be a Back of the Being episode at some point when we start doing that character analysis. But I'm looking and I'm like, I've tried so many ways to kind of make it right in my head, like the agent that went undercover that I couldn't get past for in the earlier seasons. But I'll talk a little bit more about it maybe later down the road. So I don't got nothing else to add as far as this scene other than Meadow and AJ. They come and I guess this is a thing that they've been doing. Aunt Janice and Bobby's Sunday dinner.
So
yeah.
maybe I missed this.
Okay.
And this is how I took them trying to tell us this, that Bobby had proposed to her because she mentioned losing the ring. We didn't see that.
No,
yeah, we didn't see that. We got dropped into season 5.
That was a brilliant way for them to tell us how much the relationship has moved forward because
they're already married.
Yes.
Yeah,
we missed all of that. We didn't know that.
So they're not even engaged. They're married.
That's how they told us, right?
Because I think the next episode, Bobby introduces her to something. She introduces, like I'm his wife.
Brilliant way.
And
without making
perfect way to go back to what Mo just said about us never knowing how much time has passed. That's another indicator. Like y'all went straight. We skipped the proposal. Y'all married now. Like all right, we know some time is going by now.
Yeah, she just was telling you about, bro. I just spent $90 at Texas Roadhouse, bro.
Yep.
To now she's making burnt roast, trying to find a ring.
Roast
bro.
look crazy.
Telling Tony, this is my house.
It's my house. Tony.
Let me be great. Janice, you earned the right because the way she hustled that Bobby play. Hey, come on, talk that. I gotta get to her.
R.I.P. Karen, man.
I know. Goodness gracious, Karen.
R.I.P. Karen.
You deserve better. Yeah. Anything you want to add to as AJ and Meadow, or y'all good on that? Just them pulling up.
Canned clam chowder,
bro. Yeah, that. That part. But I want to say one more thing, just a small note. The way they did the little last scene on the TV where you got Carmine and then Johnny Sack and they got the Mafia class of 04 ? And they had that dun. I was like, bro, I love continuity like that. It feels like we're in the world when you get Johnny Sack looking at the camera, kind of going in. I'm like, bro, it feels so authentic. Like I just love when they do that because this show is so much more than mob. But when they do these moments, it's like, oh, this is anyways. But I love little stuff like that.
And not to keep saying it over and over again. Tip my hat, man. I've always said it. The great shows, the all-timers, the classics, they know when to end. They also know when to keep things fresh. Like this was just a fresh outlook and a fresh spin on Sopranos. They could have easily started declining, but they didn't because they saw a different angle. They actually brought in new writers this season. And I think that was intentional to make sure they didn't get like too caught up in what they've been doing. Matthew Weiner, the dude actually who plays in this scene, who's the dude on TV. Yeah, he's one of the new writers in the room now. So shout out to David Chase and all that for making sure things stay fresh.
Nice. Carmela comes home and AJ is playing drums. And this is why we hate AJ. We hate AJ so much. And and David Chase, I don't know, maybe David Chase was like this growing up. I don't know. But it's like he says he doesn't understand why people hate AJ. Like that's probably the biggest thing he says I don't understand about the fans, and it bothers me. So I'm like, what are you talking about? And they be like, oh, he's just a teenager, and I don't know if it's a black teenager thing or it's just a whatever, something else thing. But this level of disrespect for your mom is crazy, bro. Like, I don't understand why you're on such edge. Like she done something to you. That's what pisses me off about him. I'm like,
Well,
what
I
do
think
you?
he do think that she done something to him though.
Okay.
He's thinking that you ran dad away, like it was
Okay.
your fault, and that's why he's carrying that animosity that way. It's like I would be like dad would be here and things would be normal if you weren't such a bitch, which is not true. We know that as adults, but I think as a teenager he's looking at it that way. He still needs his ass kicked though.
Yeah, for sure.
Like if I was Carmelo, I'd
Facts.
have took them drumsticks and hit him across the face.
Oh, that's a big fact.
Yeah,
If
That's
you
what
that's
would
a
have happened in my
perfect.
house. That's what my mom would.
Yeah, that's how it go.
Yeah,
For real.
that's a perfect explanation. That's 15, 16-year-old behavior, lifestyle change. Your dad out. You don't really understand. You're gonna make the assumption. You're gonna side with your pops. We've always seen
Right.
AJ be
Yeah.
contentious with Carmella, so it makes sense. But it's the I don't know where I don't know if that's learned behavior, but like I walk in and I'm speaking to you. Why are you still banging the drums, yelling over it, bro? Like take some decency to take 20 seconds out and say, yo, what's going on? Yeah, we had roast beef. All right, cool. You saying stuff under your breath, which makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like I say, he's angry and stuff like that. But it's the scene as a whole as to
Mm-hmm.
why I don't like AJ. I'm used to this AJ, but you talking slick, and then 20 seconds later, you acting like a bitch.
Bro.
Because you see the bear, like, come on, bro. Like, stop. Now, if I was Carmelo, I'd have left his ass outside. Nah, what was that shit you was talking upstairs?
What was that? Mommy.
Nah, you was tough earlier, right?
Yeah.
Man of the house, like, you should have thought about that. Yeah, you're right, because you a bitch and you ain't one.
Right. Look at your face now. I mean, but you know what? I was going to say
Mommy.
exactly. Yeah. Jody. Like, so it's like I was thinking AJ acts like Carmella is Livia, but now before I thought that, I said, you know what? AJ is Livia in a son version, bro. It almost has to be the way he's just always negative. He's never positive about anything. He always is upset about everything. I don't know. Somebody deep out there, you read it, you know, people that don't read it, whoever, y'all give us some of that if that's kind of true, because it's something about him. I mean, even his connection to Livia, like when they had that conversation, like how he resonated when she says, what makes you so special? That whole big nothing concept, like he just took that in and kept it moving. So I don't know. Maybe he's Livia.
You know what this says to me? When I watch scenes like this, you know what it says to me as someone who doesn't have children? It says you really have no control as to how your kid's gonna turn out. You can do the best you can and go from there. They're gonna have their own personality. Or no matter what kind of world you try to mold them in. Like if they naturally a dickhead, they a dickhead.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure parents didn't like. I'm sure Charles Manson's parents didn't grow up thinking like, oh, he's gonna be the greatest serial killer ever.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's just it just happens, man. And I look at AJ like, oh, you just gonna be this is just you. Like there's nothing I can do to change this. So I got to try to find a way to love you, despite that. And as somebody who doesn't have kids, I always think that's fascinating because I always looked at it differently. Like, oh, my kid's gonna be this, my kid's gonna be that. Yeah. And this shows like you really don't have too much control because, like, how do you treat your mom like that? Like, I don't understand that. Mm-hmm. Like, I can't wrap my brain around that. What did she do to make you be this angry?
Can I ask this? Oh, well, Spike, I don't want to cut you. What was you gonna say? Oh, okay. And maybe you can answer first here. There's a later scene in the series. I'm not going to spoil it for those who haven't seen it. I may have asked this before, but I don't know if Rich was a part of the pod. The later scene that happens with the AJ storyline. For one, did y'all feel bad at that point? And y'all know what I'm referring to. Okay, that's a no for you, Spike.
Yeah, I already answered this. You know.
Yeah, okay, Rich. And then I'm gonna explain why I'm going there, just for this scene, for this moment.
There's some human empathy there.
Okay. All right.
But if Tony didn't make it home in time, then whatever.
Okay. I see where you're going. All right. So I said that to say, do y'all think that they didn't do enough with the AJ character to stick the landing when that moment came? Do y'all think that, because it seemed like the sliders are so far on this side of scumbag, and there's not enough sprinkles of like oh, he's taking it so much differently than Meadow as far as his dad not around like that. His mom is on him like we don't never really get any kind of back and forth. Like, okay, I see why AJ's struggling as a kid, why he get angry at moments. Do I think that they didn't do that well enough? And you know what I mean? Because I almost feel like that scene would have resonated better if they gave us a little more earlier.
I personally think that they're doing it now, and it just doesn't come off that way for me. One, maybe because I don't have kids, and two, maybe because I'm black. But I think even in this, they want us to be more sympathetic for AJ's position and even to the scene that you're talking about. But they're not asking for sympathy in the normal trope ways that TV shows or movies would do.
Okay.
Like they're wanting us to be sympathetic with him being a teenager and being a jerk, but dismissing that he's being a jerk because he's going through a divorce. And we know how that affects teenagers, and we know how much he loves his dad. And I think that David Chase's surprise comes from, even in this scene, like you're saying, like, I'm writing this so the audience will view and give him sympathy. However, it just doesn't translate that way.
Okay.
So I think that they were planting the seeds for it, but just for me, maybe it's a man thing. Again, maybe it's a black thing. Maybe it's I don't have kids thing, but the sympathy never hit for me.
Same. Because to the opposite side of this, I think they did a great job of showing us that AJ just doesn't have a clue. And it's not to the point where they do it to the point where you can't just excuse it as him being a teenager. Like, oh, this is his, when he's 10 years from now, when he's in his 20s, he's still going to be this person. Like, he has those characters. Now, I'm thinking about the scene when he's with Big P at the batting cages. Nigga be a leader, not a follower. Like, just certain things that Tony has gripes about. And, you know, to quote Hove on Blueprint 3, no vision, lack of ambition, so whack. Like, that's how I view AJ. Like, he's just somebody who doesn't have any vision. He has no ambition, has no idea what he wants to do with his life. The only thing we ever saw him catch on to was football for this entire series.
Yeah.
That's not a spoiler alert, ladies and gentlemen. Like, what you think
That
about
already
AJ is
happened.
true
Yeah.
from here to all the way through. So it's just hard for somebody like me. Maybe it's a me personal thing on all three of us collectively, because I know we share that same thought, where when you're so inspired by trying to get better and do certain things and reaching goals, it's hard to be around and tolerate people who don't. And AJ is just the epitome of that. Like, bro, what is your life about? He's the perfect rich father's child, rich person's child. Like, everything. He don't got to work or grind for anything. I would love to see if he had to, like, grind for something.
Yeah,
but I just don't like AJ, man. I just don't like him as a person.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, he's definitely Joffrey level now.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck if you in the, I don't give a fuck if you in the mood. I don't give a fuck if you
quick
sad,
answer.
your feelings hurt. Oh, daddy left. Oh, boo.
Yeah. Well, one question, just a quick yes or no. If that later scene had been Meadow, which I felt bad.
Of course.
If that's
Absolutely.
if that later scene had been Jackie Jr.
No.
Like before
Nah,
before the car game robbery.
Jr. got shot in the head.
Yeah, I didn't care when Jackie got rocked.
Okay.
Like,
All
that
right.
didn't.
Meadows made deposits. Like, we talked
Okay.
about this on Another Week in the Books. Like, Meadows made positive deposits to our accounts. Like, we've seen her, like, either call the girl out at the wedding. Well, we haven't yet seen her at Columbia that much, but we've seen her and her strive, as to what Rich said, to be better, to be good, not to just be a child of Tony Soprano. Like, we haven't seen AJ make any deposits, bro. Like, you're not making any deposits into this positive lifestyle that you want. We don't even know if you want it. Like, you're not even coming to the bank. Like, we're like, so yeah, I don't. Yeah.
And it's not, if AJ was just sitting down doing nothing, let's say he was just lazy and lack of ambition, even that might be passable for where he is in life. It's just the fact that he's not just an asshole, man. He's like extra. He puts sauce on it.
Yeah, he a prick.
Like, just the way you roll your, like I said, I don't know if it's, maybe I was raised wrong, but I've snatched AJ up so many times.
Well,
maybe I was, because, man, I can't understand it.
I would ask y'all, but I may ask in a later scene as far as the bear. Like, do y'all have a theory or idea which I think is supposed to represent? But I'll ask in a later scene, since we kind of spent a little time on this one. But shouts out to Carmella, man. Protect her cub. Like, you know, no pun intended.
That was good.
Tony and Valentina, Tony and Valentina, I guess they just got it in, I'm assuming. And
Yeah,
yeah, just a little session. I
wonder
think
how
she
you
made
stand.
olive loaf. That's what
olive
Tony knew.
loaf.
Like, I'm not fucking with you.
I'm out of
This
here.
is soon as I
Olive
get
loaf?
tired of you, you out of here. You out
That's
here, man.
what
And
is that?
you
The
proud of
Colombian
it.
side. Ain't that the Colombian side coming out, huh?
I don't know
Damn.
what side it is. You ever seen olive loaf? Hell nah.
I would. I
look it
mean,
up.
yeah. Olive loaf's crazy. Then we go back and Carmela and the bear guys come over. Basically say you can't use your firearm, whatever. And then AJ again.
Hold on. Did you just skip through? No, my fault.
No,
We're
it'll
not
come
there.
back. It'll come back.
Yeah,
there.
yeah, my bad.
But AJ again just getting smart, talking up again. And when the bear guys come by, he's talking about, I told you should have used Dad's firearm. Like, shut up! You were just crying. You are naming of the Sopranos. But anyways,
Olive loaf is crazy. I just looked up the picture.
Olive, that's disgusting.
Christ.
Like I said, I'm not. That's a turnoff.
Yeah, you disgust me.
The fact that you even thought that this would be a good idea. Like, I eat steak and lobster.
I would have left. She would have been mad at me. Wow, olive loaf, a blend of select cuts of beef and pork with olives in it.
Anybody out there, if you don't know what it is, Google a picture of olive loaf, and you would have been like, "What the fuck?"
And then we go back to Tony and Valentina, and he's watching a movie that makes him think of Melfi. Y'all know that movie?
Hell yeah! You don't know that movie?
Not at all.
It's more of an artsy movie, so I'm not gonna say it like that. It's just, every award season there's that one movie you know. Me and Spike like to talk about the movies. Like, yeah, I liked it, but I'll never watch it again. It's The Prince of Tide. Came out in, I think, 92. Nick Nolte and Barbara Streisand.
Oh, okay.
Very, very strong. So pretty much the premise, short version, Nick Nolte's sister commits suicide. He starts talking to her therapist and then ends up falling in love with her therapist. So very resemble. It's a great use considering this episode of what Tony's trying to accomplish. So yeah, I love the reference, but I love Tony looking at himself.
Yeah.
I mean, he saw himself in that character, man, which that's why we do this podcast, man. We see ourselves in people and like to observe and make these comments. And Tony sees himself and realizes, oh, I'm let this motherfucker giving me olive loaf. Let me get back. Since I'm free now, let me try to really see what's up with Melfi.
Right. What did he say? Something about her? Like she kept talking, and he had said something.
He said something about the other therapist. He was like, clearly you didn't get all your talking done with her.
Right.
Like the slick way to say shut up is crazy.
That's where AJ get it from.
He definitely. I'm a miserable prick. I said it today. What?
Oh shit.
That also and Mo, that explains when Tony sends a gift. Remember the note?
That's why when you said
how
I
we
was like,
signed it,
oh yeah, that's why I was like, oh, Person Tide, she must know the movie. That's kind of fire right there.
I'm sure if you were a therapist in that time, you probably knew all the you probably knew the Analyze Acts, or Analyze This, Prince of Tide, all them type of movies. Yeah,
that's true. But yeah, he sends Melfi the Tide. I don't know if there's anything to add to it, but just getting his slickness off. I mean, she's looking nice as always. We get the guys at the Bing, and they're talking about the Russian Valerie from season 3's Pine Barrens. Again, keeping this world very tight knit. I'll throw a ball in your court first, Spike Lou. What did you gather from this? How things were sweet and cool.
Love
things
this, man.
Went totally another way.
I love that they're playing on that one of the best episodes that we did here, and it shows that never really got put to bed. Like there's still this animosity between Chris and Paulie that they really haven't had enough screen time to address it, but we want you to know that it's still here. So later in the episode, it won't seem wild what happens. But I loved it, how it escalated, went from 10 to 20.
Bro.
Vito, big fat instigating ass.
That's crazy. Vito.
It's a joke.
It's the medication.
It is definitely the medication.
But I love it. I love this scene particularly because, like you said, it started out lighthearted. There's nothing like, everybody knows what it's like to be in some bullshit, and it's not funny at the time, but over time it gets funny. Like in the wood, when Mike's character says, "Man, life is funny. You just don't want to laugh when it's you."
Yeah.
Like when they was out in that woods, wasn't shit funny.
Mhm.
But now that time has passed, when you look back at all the goofy shit and how it even led up to it, you like, man, that was some bullshit.
Real
You
goofy.
telling the story, you comfortable enough to do it. You going in and out, weaving in and out of the story about how you remember it, kind of like how we did our origin story episode.
Yeah.
And then something takes it too far. And I've always said it, ain't nothing worse when you telling a story in front of a group. When that group start laughing a little too hard at some shit, that's when niggas' feelings start getting hurt.
Mhm.
You know,
And
they
you
talk
didn't
about
see it
poly.
that way either. You like,
Yeah,
oh, wait, hold up.
and they calling you out on it because he talking about, you know, everything was good till he lost his shoe. Damn, you lost your shoe. You left that part out. You ain't say nothing about you losing. So now I'm questioning how real is your story?
Right. Well,
Like-
before that though, Chris called him out about like, yeah, man, you lost your temper. He was like, man, what are you talking about? And he said, bro, you choked him with a lamp. Like he just, even though obviously it's more than that, like you didn't drop the remote, knocked his, you know.
And two, a great thing about that is it's this generational thing between. It ain't just what was that? What's the name of the episode? I can't.
Pine Barrens.
Pine Barrens. It shows too. It's not just the Pine Barrens animosity as we see throughout this episode as to what they were beefing about. It's a generational thing too, because while we got here, don't need to be discussed in front of everybody. Yes, Christopher was right in the sense of, man, if you had never done that with it's your man's telling too much of the story.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like you supposed to leave that part out.
That's
for me and you.
That's
like
what
the fact that I tried to choke the nigga out, like you leave that out, but you can tell the rest of the story. So that's a generational
great
thing.
point.
Chrissy don't know that.
Okay.
Paulie do. Paulie looking at, oh, now you being disrespectful.
Yeah.
So
that's fine. That was a great pull, bro. That was a really great pull.
Nah, that's a hell of a pull.
Yeah, because that's
how it started. And you know what? That's to Spike's point. When I watch this and Chrissy says it, I don't get the offense that Paulie does. I'm almost like, damn, Paulie, calm down.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
If I was Paulie,
you go
right,
back
bro,
to
now,
nigga, we wouldn't even been here if it weren't for your ass, nigga.
Yeah, now it's like, oh shit, I started it. Well, shit, you let him jab with that shovel. Nigga, that nigga had no gun, no weapon. He was out here with his draws,
bro.
And
you let
him get you. He ain't had nothing for him.
That's that. That's
then you start talking about the shoe, and it's like I said, you start laughing.
I
Like,
gotta go lower now, baby. I gotta go lower now.
Mm-hmm.
You tell him this nigga hit me in the head with a shovel, and we don't know what happened to him. Hold up,
and
bro.
Spikes,
Before we finish that, you lost your shoe. You lost your shoe. Yeah, bro. I can't let you. I can't let it leave right there.
So the Spikes now the Spikes point. You getting the unrated version of the story. You ain't getting the theatrical release no more. You getting the extra shit, the bonus content.
Bonus, yeah.
Like, bro, wasn't nobody even supposed to know this.
You want to go low, I'm going to the basement, nigga.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what Chris was like. Oh yeah, bro.
And he started, my Chrissy, please don't leave me out here. Yeah, he was. Chris was going a little too far.
Yeah. And boy, because he's still hot about it, low key. And I've been paying for these meals and everything, so I'm about to burn your ass right here.
But think about this. It goes deeper. Another week in the books. Ask another question.
Mm-hmm.
What does Chris say at the end of that? I covered for you with Tony, and I didn't even get a thank you. That was the root of it.
That was it. That was it.
Yeah,
that was it.
That's what Paul
really
is mad. It's like, bro, I'm getting
appreciation for it.
Yeah. Probably lucid that, like, bro, you only, basically only getting that off because you family and
exactly. And then Paulie was like, the only reason that you can say you covered for me is because you his cousin. That's the only reason that you can say that. So throw that shit out of here.
Yeah. But this also speaks to the end concept that Sopranos driving home. Chris is a part of that new generation of made guys. You're gonna see this a lot more. We ain't doing that fluff. You know what I mean? Like you just, we just figured it out. Like you mad at Silvio because Silvio and Tony, they're prepared for the next generation. Like they come from the old school, but they know how to maneuver in it. But Paulie is stuck. Like he's just stuck completely in it. Like, you robbing old ladies and, robbing old ladies and suffocating them, just to pay up because you've been side talking with Johnny Sack because your feelings are hurt because your boss didn't come to see you while you got caught with a gun charge and you shouldn't have been out there in the first place.
That might be one of the dirtiest moments on here. Now that I think about
absolutely. Like
I don't know if we said that at the time that we was doing it, but that's top 5.
Yeah, definitely.
If not top
Which
3.
part?
When he killed Minnie. Like just to get out, just to pick up a good envelope.
Nah, that was filthy, man. We shouldn't.
Yeah, that's filthy work right there.
That was nasty, man. Nah, that was real sick.
Yeah, he was like, man, you know what? You ain't got
bro.
much time left. Let me help you out.
Some sick shit, right?
Let me help you out. Let me get you where you try to go.
That's wild. He
Facts.
said, "Let me help you out." Come on, man.
Olivia said, "I wish the Lord would take me, but
Here you go. Here you go. We walk you on up to the door, my boy.
Hey,
let me go
both
ahead.
stupid,
Go
man.
take a ride with you, boy."
Hilarious.
Oh shit.
All right,
Hey.
I'm done. That is crazy. Paulie Walnuts is nuts for real.
Yeah, this is
Goodness
good.
gracious, bro. But yeah, that was great pull on that scene, man. Tony calls Melfi, and Melfi tries to kind of, lightweight assert herself in a gentle way, and Tony's not really getting the hint. He says
They
that
did a good job of shooting her. It's like she looked sexier right here.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, they did it right. They definitely had the right, had all of the right, people
Nice little
involved.
hairstyle. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely had the right people involved. It almost seemed like that first scene was shot at a different time with her than this one because she looked a little different. I don't know. It's almost like that seemed like that might have been shot in a season before or something because she looked like a little older in this scene for some reason. And she had the glasses on. I don't know. It was just something I noticed, but I could be wrong. But it definitely seemed like they shot that on the back end of 4, and this is next year, and they kind of pieced it back on. But who knows? I mean, I ain't the detail guy like that, but it definitely kind of looked like that to me. But anything I want to add to this phone call?
Only shooting a shot.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of expected it.
Yeah.
I think as watchers, you said, okay, well, you left Carmella. This is obviously the next place that he would go. And you kind of expected her reaction. I don't really think that there's anything surprising about this.
Yeah, I was just gonna say this. This scene reminds me of when I was a kid, and I thought I was smarter than my peoples.
Yeah.
You just you thinking like little bullshit, slick ways to get out of school, or I'm sick, or I'm this, that, and the third, and you don't realize your peoples done heard every trick in the book.
They know it.
Mm-hmm.
Not only do I know it, I've probably done it and tried it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so you hear Tony, and we spent enough time with him now to know this is typical fashion. He wanted to wait the appropriate time because he thought that would impress her. He wanted to send a flower. Yeah, like, I'm not pressing you. I'm giving you your space. Hopefully that buys me some grace, and like I'm really into you, when we know that's not true. We know it's not true. So it's just funny how Tony thinks this is going to work, and Meadow shuts it down. We shut it down. We all know it, but that's Tony being Tony, man.
Yeah, he just acts like she forgot about all the women he's told her about. Like, it's just crazy.
Man.
Like, he seems to forget.
She
like,
know you.
Because it's like this weird thing where Tony leaves sessions and goes back with his the family, his guys, and he could just act like nothing happened. There's nothing to share. There's nothing like that. But Melfi is a part of those sessions, bro. Like, it's like a weird thing where you act like she walks away forgetting what y'all talked about. Like,
and
no.
This speaks to a later. That's funny. This speaks to a later diagnosis that we found out closer to the end. I don't think this is a spoiler alert, but it speaks to Tony's sociopathic behaviors. Like, one of the traits of a sociopath is showing no regard for right and wrong, ignoring the rights and the feelings of others. He know this is wrong. He know that she won't go for it, but he can't fight the urge. So,
wow,
a little small.
It's a journey, man. It's what he knows, because we all know what's gonna happen if Tony gets her.
Right.
Like, he didn't even think about, like, I told her about, she knows how I treat Carmella.
She knows
how I treat Carmella.
All of this.
She know I cheat. She know I'm a dog. Why would she go for this? But he ain't even thinking about that. I'm a new man. There's 2 Tonys.
Oh yeah, I got a lot to say about 2 Tonys. Yeah. Carmella's at the house. Let me see. Carmella's at the house. It's daytime, and she sees the bear again. AJ.
Oh, right. Lock the door. Like he's going to wipe his feet first, too.
That was funny. I ain't going to hold you.
I know, but I'm like, bro, funny. You're not going to do anything. Like, oh, my God.
I thought, because
punch his face.
I forgot that line. And when I was watching it, I thought, like, damn, she locking the door. That shit's silly. I wish that line was for Tony. I wish Tony was able to say that line.
That would have been a better Tony. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, man. Shout out to Fila tracksuit she got on, too.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, they look like the baby fat joints back in the 2000s.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask, though, what I was going to ask earlier, but is Tony supposed to represent the bear? I've probably heard this and seen it somewhere, but like when he shows up, the bear is gone. And he's in like black, leather and,
I think that was a representation.
Burly, husky,
In some way, I think it was.
I always took the bear as you're not where you're supposed to be, and now your people are vulnerable. Like, it wouldn't have, like, everything tied into the bear, like even having to send Benny up there later, or even what AJ was outside doing when he encountered the bear, it was something that Tony would have been doing. And I think that the bear is symbolic of how vulnerable your house is when you're not around.
That's a good pull. I could see that 100%. Like, you know what I mean? This is how vulnerable everybody is. Tony ain't around.
And you can't
Absolutely.
send somebody else to fix it. They need you there. Like, it don't matter that Benny there. Like, people are going to be like, there's a very high level of vulnerability. Even we see later, like, this ain't just a house thing. People are talking about this. Lamar asked him about this.
Like, I'm gonna ask y'all how did they get there? I'm gonna ask y'all, but
We know. They said it in the scene. You know.
All right, okay.
The one person who ain't been saying nothing the whole scene speaks up on the part when they ask how they found out. I don't know. You just told on yourself, bro.
All right.
How he know?
Okay, that's why I'm going. That's why I want to. When we get there, I want to go down the rabbit hole to see how they got there because it spread. Obviously, most fans. Yeah,
who he married to?
Right.
She told
Pillow talk, man.
Who told?
That's what I said. We got to figure out.
Told. It's all about who Ro told.
Oh, so like, you're so Carmella told Ro.
Yeah, then that's probably how it started.
Oh, okay. So then Ro told probably one of the wives.
Otherwise,
Silvio probably knew from his wife,
that's how
and
Silvio
probably was like, "Hey, you know, the big guy."
Something.
They say there's a bear in his house, you know. So that's got that's definitely. I didn't think about Ro as definitely an essential factor.
Yeah, Ro was definitely the next point of contact on that, I believe.
Yeah, I think you nailed that. I forgot all about Ro. Good call. But I would say, I think that Tony and the bear. I think if I'm gonna try to be fake deep here, but they represent the same thing. You know, as far as Tony could be just as dangerous as the bear. Right? He could be as life threatening. He can do some really awful things just like a bear could. Or Tony could just be minding his business and just be fearsome like that, but minding his own business and just being, like I said, in a place he ain't necessarily supposed to be. And I don't know if that's what it is, but it's just very ironic to me. And I know they were going for something there where it's like when Tony's there, the bear's not there. Then the later scene at night when we see him come back to the crib, it's him outside at the same area where the bear was. Sitting with the shotgun. So I feel like they're trying to say something. Again, we're not that podcast for the deep dives, but there's something there. I think it's something interesting. Y'all welcome to email us in if y'all got some like theory about it or whatnot. But yeah, they talk about the ducks and the food no longer attracts the ducks, but a bear, which I feel like there's something deeper there too. I think is this where Carmella sees the guy, kind of looks at him, get the look, and then Tony wants to kind of play off like
in that same scene. I love, if we back up just a little bit, I love Tony coming in the house, and I felt Tony 100%. If that was me, what the fuck? Like, I'm hearing you leaving a message. Yeah, this is Carmella about Mr. Soprano about the bear that was in my back. What you mean a bear? Like, why am I not hearing about this? Like, this is. I would be through the roof. At Carmella and AJ, because we found out I took AJ to dinner the other day. You ain't saying nothing about a bear being in your backyard, bro.
Mm-hmm.
What's on? Like, what else is there to talk about?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like what is there to talk about?
They get inside and they have this interesting parent debate. Tony is splurging on AJ and Carm isn't, obviously. They're back and forth about the divorce choice, and then the Furio thing. Now, my question I want to ask y'all, how does Carmella know that Tony is constantly calling Naples to kill Furio? Where did she get that information?
How does what?
How does Carmella know that Tony is constantly making calls in Naples trying to kill Furio?
I think the same way that people found out the bear was in the yard, pillow talking. Because, I mean, he ain't making the call personally himself. He had to tell at least Seal this. So just like with Carmella telling Ro about the bear, Seal know he pissed off. Yeah, Seal know he pissed off about it, calling over there saying these things. So maybe Seal say something to his wife. And then his wife tells Ro again, and then it works its way back to Carmella. I love how they do that to show how small that this world is. Like how like a game of phone tag turns into it got all the way back to me 2 days later at Junior house. So it got back to me while we're having this conversation. I know what you've been doing. We ain't got to be living in the same house. We live in the same world. And our world is small. Yeah.
Shout out to Goodfellas.
Hold on, there's a couple of couple of great Tony moments. For one,
Mm-hmm.
Tony telling Carmela, this isn't Little House on the fucking prairie. You know what I mean? And then her telling him, well, they say it's the bird feeder that distracted him stopping and looking at it for a second, not wanting to take any accountability. I've never heard of that before. Like Tony just immediately, I've never heard of that before.
I've definitely done that before. You be in the middle of something like, you got to show me.
You have to show me. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
and I love Tony. All right, so this is an important scene because it shows you where Tony is. He sees Carmela and the Ranger kind of having a little moment. Nothing too serious, but obviously you know about Fury already. You probably never in your life thought that Carmela would even look at another man.
Mm-hmm.
Now you know she had a thing for Furio. So now when she gives somebody the eye too long, you feel the way. So you try to exert dominance in a Tony Soprano fashion. Once again, it goes back to what I said about him getting at Melfi. These chicks are old now. It's almost like a good parallel with the Sopranos and what they were dealing with in real time.
Mm-hmm.
You can't keep doing the same shit.
Mm-hmm.
You got to switch some shit up.
Facts.
You got to switch it up, Tony. You pulling out that $100 and here, boss, or lanyard for your whistles, bro. We don't care nothing about that, bro. That don't work. That's not impressive. None of that. And then he comes back and does the same routine again. Ranger Rick's a little light in the Timberlands. It's always gay with you. Like, see, I've been here before. Like, I've seen these tricks, Tony. Like every single time, it's the same shit. Switch it up.
Yeah, bro.
So I just thought that was great. That it was just they did an incredible job of just showing you where Tony was mentally while everybody else was moving along.
Yeah, and you know how it is. Like you pulled up on the X, and I mean, she's still looking good. Like, you know,
everybody's always gay with you.
Exactly. Right. Remember, he thought Meadows, the guy, was gay like last season, and he's like, oh, I'm not gay. He had that look like, wait, what? That track.
Shit, this season, there's another character. I think it's this season.
Totally crazy, man.
Yeah, man.
just. I guess because I know we live in a different time, just outright assuming when there's like no real indications, like it's ridiculous, bro. Oh, I thought you were like, bro, that's crazy. I'm sorry. Like, I know we're in a different time now, but at that time, just immediately assuming based on everything around it without no real evidence is hilarious, bro.
Yeah, that's Tony, man. That's what makes it funny because
it is
that's classic Tony. But my fault. My fault. No, Spike. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say two of my favorites, as you were just saying. The one was him requesting the invoice from the tutor, which is fucking hilarious.
Uh-huh.
Like, what you gonna do with an invoice, bro? Like, stop! You gonna ball it up and throw it in the trash?
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one was he had coffee here, Tony. That saw it. Now the coffee maker sucks.
Right?
Now
Like,
the coffee maker sucks.
Just being petty.
Those are two great lines.
I love it. That was probably my favorite line of the episode. That's perfect witty comeback. Sucks. Like, and now the coffee maker sucks.
We should probably add that, like, best line of the episode. We should probably add that.
Yeah, that would be good.
I wouldn't be mad at that.
The next episode, we're gonna put that on our when we do our rankings and everything at the end. I'm gonna put best line, so y'all keep that in mind.
Yeah, best line / best exchange.
Best exchange, okay. Say that.
You got to be on. I love Witty's sense of humor like that. For him to be on it, and he was mad as fuck, bro.
Oh, he was Superman.
He took the money back.
Yeah, like, oh yeah, allowance.
That's funny, man.
I felt both of them. I think both of them made very compelling points. I wouldn't say that Carm was on her own. I wouldn't say that Tony was on his own. Honestly, I think if you really listen to
a bitch. In my
well, I mean, I wouldn't say that. Not in this scenario.
Take the money, go to the hotel, bro. Like, what? Talking about AJ's routine. That little dipshit don't got a routine.
I mean, bro, but she's grasping, bro. She's grasping for everything she got. Is like
dipshit.
Yeah, right. But she's grasping everything she got because this is her son. Like, ain't no like I can pick up another one. This is it. This is my kid. I gotta.
That's fair.
So, you know what I mean? It's
go
like
to the hotel, bro. Like, you're trying to do too much now.
Do you think she has a point when she says you're trying to make my life as financially hard as possible? Financially difficult as possible?
I don't think she got a point. I'm sorry.
You don't think she has a point with that?
That part was like, no, because you, like he said, well, whose decision was, to do the divorce thing?
I was just about to say, you decided.
Yeah, you decided to do this. It's like, so.
You stole that money out there, Murphy, and I ain't forgot about that. First and foremost.
You thought we forgot? We
You need to be using that. Wherever that money at, use that you stole. But secondly, you made the decision to lose me as the financial provider. I'm still doing my thing because I'm not a deadbeat, but it ain't no Tuesdays at the spa with Ro no more. You got to figure it out. My girl.
Even if my wife was going after a fucking immigrant. Tony, wow, bro.
Like, now he's an immigrant now. Like, you went over there as an immigrant.
People see him, he's dead.
He's
bro.
dead. You hear me?
Oh man,
Man, that could have
That's
been a
that.
good.
That's what they call on site. That's what they call on site
it's on
beef.
site.
That is definitely on site. Nigga. There ain't no hold your fire, bro. But yeah, just a great exchange between them two. I really enjoyed that. Tony leaves a voicemail for Melfi, and that's pretty much it. We get to the scene that Rich gave us a cold open, man. Keep them cold opens coming, man, because I brought something back this episode. So just to keep the good earner lure going. But Feeks was in the middle of a story, and he is real old school, having to stop when any interruption comes. It's like, bro, that is so old school. I mean, I respect it. I just thought, I was like, wow, that is classic, bro. Like, just to like, hold on, bro, I'm in the middle of the story. Like, don't mess this up because I'm about to sell it. And, you know, you live for those because we didn't, in this time, they didn't have no Instagrams or YouTubes of somebody sharing it. Like, when you were in that moment, that was what mattered. Like, bro, you may not can verify that story or any of the people involved, but just hearing them, like, you just believe it because there was no internet. Like, you know, it was just different. So I respected it. But what did y'all gather from this scene? Tony and Feeks seeing each other, obviously ain't seen each other for a long time, maybe since he robbed the card game back in the day.
I've always said I'm a fan of great introductions. You know, we've heard Feature's name before, but us actually meeting him, you might not know right away, but you know this guy's a little different.
Yep.
Right? You don't know necessarily he's a problem yet, but you know the potential is there just by the way he's telling that story, just the passion and just how animated he is. Like that's just I'm as anti-extra as they come. So I just don't like being around too much extra shit anyway. And I'm like, bro, we sitting here trying to have it's just the four of us. I can see if we was at the bang and the fellas around your welcome home party, but it's just the four of us, bro. You living on to these old ass stories. And he said some wild lines too, talking about the biggest thing he had to get used to was brides shaving their bushes. It's like the Girl Scouts out there talking about the bang. I'm like, that's a wild ass line, bro.
I mean, it is for sure.
But yeah, and obviously we've heard his name. We know he a player. Tony comes in, and it's almost like I said, when I mentioned earlier about them introducing this new class, a lot of them probably look at Tony as a fat little kid. You see, Feature's respect was towards Junior. That's why I wanted to see you, Junior, and you too, Tony.
Right.
Tony's been running the family for a minute. But to Feach, bro, I did 20 years in the can. I'm in my 60s. I'm not listening to you. I'm going through Junior. Junior gonna have to tell me that it's cool. Just off GP. And Tony knew it too, because he said, as long as you don't step on nobody's toes. And then as we mentioned, I'm sure you want to bring it up, Mo, the whole Bobby, the one telling about the bear and all that, and which I thought was odd anyway that Feach would even bring that up. And I loved how as soon as he said it, he knew he fucked up. Try to backtrack. Oh man, your wife, your ex-wife.
Backpedal gang, man. Backpedal.
Yeah,
gang.
like you got too comfortable and was like, oh shit, I forgot that was news I wasn't supposed to share.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think they tipped their hand a little bit. We were talking about to tie it into the last scene. Who's the next? Like you knew the Feach, as Rich just said, you knew Feach was gonna be like an issue. He's gonna be a problem. I don't know if he's gonna be a bad problem or a good problem, but his presence is definitely gonna be felt.
I believe Robert Loggia. Is it Loggia or Loggia? Excuse my pronunciation, but Robert Loggia. I believe that he wasn't. They necessarily didn't write him to play like this kind of firecracker, like how he does his lines, where he gets like extra into it, like excited. I don't think he was supposed to necessarily play it that way, but they allowed it and let it roll. I can't remember where I may have heard of a version. That's me kind of paraphrasing it, but so with those lenses, it makes me look at it a certain way too. It works because you feel like Feach was like, he was like definitely like, I mean, captain, soldier, like he was definitely putting in work back then. Like Feach is so believable, you know.
You know what a Hassa is, Frank? It's a pig that don't fly straight. Shout out to Scarface.
Hey man.
He played Frank of Scarface.
Come on, man.
It's okay. It's okay.
Bro.
So I'm the reason I even thought about that because I'm thinking like, damn, is that just kind of one of his things? I'm like, nah, I've seen him play roles where he kept it pretty simple.
Yeah. So I guess he was just really, I don't know, mobbed out. But man, he was so into. But
Why y'all think that Junior looked to Tony's approval when he asked him about getting back started. I mean, excuse me, why did Tony look for Junior's approval? And Junior kind of gave him a little head nod.
Well, because Junior's, I think Junior's a little bit more up on Feach. They come from that same
Tony
era.
don't know him.
He was a little boy back then. He was a fat kid. You know what I mean? So it's like I know him of the
20 years
legend.
ago. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really probably more than that because I mean I don't know depending on
He
where,
said it was
but in
20
that.
years ago.
Oh, so that was 84 then.
Yeah,
So they got
20,
locked up.
yeah, 84.
84. All right.
And
So
Tony, we assuming Tony is what about
He's early 40s right now.
49,
Early
40 right
40s.
here?
Remember when we started the series, Tony was I think 39. We flipped to that
2
38,
years ago,
39.
so he about 41. So he was 21. He was about Jackie Jr. age or something like when
Okay.
Feach got locked up.
So he was just like trying to make his bones.
Yeah. Interesting.
So yeah. Oh, go ahead. Was you about to say something, Rich?
No, I was just gonna say that's a great point. I think he was just looking like, damn, is this dude? Do you vouch for? I think it was one of
What
them
you
Tony.
think?
Like,
Yeah.
do you vouch for him to get back? We've seen Tony go to Junior for advice on things.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, for sure. Because you well up on him. Like I don't know Feach enough to be like, hey, put him back in the game because you know how I'm trying to insulate. You know how I've been moving here lately. So let's just make it make sense here, bro.
I will say this about Feach. This is something to think about, especially for the listeners out there who've seen this a few times. More than Richie, more than Ralphie, I think Feach Lamanna was the biggest headache that there was, and I don't even really think it's close. The reason I got to that is because when Richie was out of the show, I was salty. I wanted more Richie.
Mm.
When Ralphie was out of the show, I was salty. I wanted a little bit more Ralphie, even though I didn't like Ralphie. With whatever happens with Feach, and it's not a body. I'm just telling y'all, so I don't want y'all to think I'm spoiling anything. But the way Feature's storyline plays out, there was no other way. Because Feach, we meet him now, Feach was a fucking menace.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way that you get rid of that. Like, Feach wasn't... Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I was about to disagree with you, but you did a great point in, like, when I do remember when whatever happened, you're like, yes, finally, motherfucker.
Because of what was happening, man.
My side.
Well,
He
it
pulling
really
motherfuckers from
playing too
trees.
much.
Like,
Yeah,
Feach
he
was
playing too
on.
much, bro.
he gonna be on something, but the backstory is something different. Obviously, if y'all have listened to Talking Sopranos, Robert Loggia had problems with the script. He couldn't remember the lines, and that became an issue. So they had to get him up out of there. But we'll get there. I want to go. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the story of it. Why it was an early cut because I think he probably would have been like the antagonist. Like obviously, it's like it's gonna be a face off. Like he was gonna be like Richie 3.0, I guess, or whatever it seems like. But that's where the early switch up happens. But I like the fact that he's like, and from that day after I hit him, nobody looked at me, even crossed the eye towards me. Well, welcome home. Like Tony's like,
Yeah, man.
like, bro, we ain't fearing that, bro. Like we ain't fearing none of that. Like Tony is a big dude. Like he killed Ralphie with his bare hands. Like let's be clear, Feach, I will fold you. I'll turn you to a chicken wing, bro. Like I hear you, welcome home, bro. But don't look at me. Don't look at me when you're talking about how you had them scared in the jail. Like you know how people be doing that, telling their story. Like yeah, nigga knew they would do it. Yeah, they should wish a nigga would. Like, but they're talking about the story, but they're insinuating in your presence. Like, like, bro,
you're gonna
You
have to
give
prove
two
it, bro.
fucks,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, you can give 2 fucks. Like
Yeah,
that
you
tough
like,
guy
bro,
shit
he ain't
do
talking
not
about-
scare me, bro.
Yeah,
toast,
like-
toast to you, my nigga.
yeah, welcome home, bro. I'm not impressed.
I ain't the 21-year-old kid that you knew when you toast to you for that.
Yeah, bro.
Congratulations.
We're standing on business, and it's a great breadcrumb for.
Mm-hmm.
We know Tony doesn't really like to remember win stories. I don't give a fuck about what you did in jail in '84.
Fuck me, that was in jail, right?
Yeah,
and how
bro.
many? Yeah, right. How many years ago was that?
Yeah.
Y'all were right about the Bobby part. Bobby was like, we don't know.
Running your
I
fat
don't know.
lips.
Everybody at the table just looked at him like, bruh, shut up.
Bobby ain't never been solid. I'm still
That's
standing.
my guy.
on it.
Nah, that's my guy.
He ain't
bro.
never been
Don't do
solid,
Bobby
bro. I'm
any
still
kind of
standing
way,
on it.
man. He loves his wife, man.
Okay, well, yeah, solid in that in a civilian way. Chris and Adriana. Chris has to borrow money from Aid because he has to pay for
AJ on this.
Huh?
He gave me AJ vibes here.
Yeah, he did. At first, I didn't like it. I'm like, dang, bro. Like she said, you asked, and then you just go right in her purse without letting her actually give you the money at least. But then when I understood, I like, oh, I see what's happening. Like she's getting used to the fact that like they're going broke over here trying to feed these mob guys. So it kind of was like, all right, I get the kind of the the plight of where they're at this moment. But anything I want to add to that scene?
I think going broke is strong. It was just a very high unexpected expense. Like he wasn't.
No, this has been going on, bro.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying. So he just don't have the hustle yet. He ain't figured out the hustle yet to support this. Like this wasn't a part of his plan. And I think that kind of takes away from Adriana's money. And like I think that it was like hurting him. But it's like you know how something would be like, damn, that was expensive.
Yeah, that
like,
really hit me.
Make you go broke, but yeah, you just like, God damn.
Young Ralph Cifaretto, this wouldn't have been an issue. He would have had a dinner fund.
Mm-hmm.
He'd have got his hustle up so strong. He'd have been like, I got this 10 racks set aside for the next 5 dinners.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna show out.
That just goes to show where Tony, like where Chris is. Like I just ain't even got that hustle in me yet. Because to Paulie's point, I'm riding Tony's name. Tony already done pulled me in and said I'm part of the succession play. Like so, all I got to do is kind of be patient. I can skate because I'm gonna get the big bucks in the long run, but I ain't got the hustle to get it through now.
Adriana, one of the most understanding women in the world, bro.
Oh yeah.
I go back to the point when delusional and understanding.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. I mean, she ain't got he punched her in the face, like closed fist.
He shit on himself, but she heard that. Like a woman
right, exactly. Yeah, the season 1 callback. I mean, he sat on himself, bro. He killed Corset.
Sit on her dog, yeah. Like
or my bad. Cosette was trying to find some warmth under there.
She a trooper, boy.
We also see Aid actively trying to get information now.
Yeah.
What's the name of the plays? Who's gonna be there? You write a school? You want a school paper now?
Mm-hmm.
That's all you gotta say about that scene, Mo?
Yep.
I don't believe it. He's sensing himself.
Nah. That's it. What
I only say it because I swear on everything, man. Speaking of Jordan, shout out to Jordan again. Jordan specifically said, "What are the odds that Mo's gonna bring up how Adriana looks in this scene?" And I said it's plus. I said it's plus 10,000 that he doesn't say anything. So the fact that you didn't say anything lets me know you consciously trying to avoid because the natural Mo wants to say something about Adriana.
That's like that's like Buster Douglas knocking out Tyson odds. Like you just did the upset of the century.
Everybody lost their money.
Yeah, you just did the upset of the century.
Yeah, that's the 1 seed beating the 16 seed in the tournament. Like them odds are crazy. You just don't expect it to happen. I'd have lost all my money on you, Mo.
That's crazy. I guess it was a little light. They didn't really. I think if they gave the full head to toe situation, it'd probably been a little different. But I think the cutoff kind of, it wasn't nothing to stop it.
The ironing board ruined it.
The ironing board, kind of cut it off. It was like, okay,
So you have processed this. You did think about that.
I did it to you. I thought about it. I went back and looked. I said, okay, I see what they saying. But the ironing board was a cutoff. So, but there's another scene that y'all probably won y'all money on, and I don't think I'm the only one that has something to say about that. But we get Benny comes over to Carmela's, and Tony makes the big dog move by sending Benny and a rotation of Benny and Lil Paulie over to watch out for his family. I mean, anything I want to add to that?
I never really knew how Carmela felt about this. Like she did a good job of acting like she was annoyed, but I think she really secretly liked it.
I think so.
I think she liked the investment by Tony Steele to care that his family was okay, to have somebody spending their time there protecting her like that. I think that registered to her. And then they having a grenade in there was fucking insane.
Insane. Like, what you got a grenade for?
What you got
a single grenade.
Do you even know how to use that, bro? Like, what are we doing?
Having a grenade in the suburbs is crazy, bro.
It's crazy.
That is ridiculous. You live next to a doctor. Like,
and it's wild. It's wild because we know Tony loves like history and World War I and II artifacts and things like that. You can't even say it was that because it's with all the other weapons. Like this is an active grenade. If you pull that pin, it's gonna go off. Yeah, bro, I wonder how Carmela would have. I agree with y'all. I think Carmela liked it and appreciated it in her own way. I also wonder how she would have felt if she knew that the only reason Tony did that is because if it wasn't for that conversation with Feach and Junior, I don't think Tony would have done that. Because Tony really on some fuck you.
Yeah, he really is.
Like, I didn't want to leave. Fuck you. Like, I'm not. You lucky I'm still paying you bills.
Marry Melfi, nigga. He thought he was going to marry Dr. Melfi.
Oh yeah, definitely. He's like, yeah, I'm
definitely would have redid his life.
I'm about to be up. It's me and Jennifer out here, man. The guys are eating. They're having a conversation. They're talking about dinosaurs, and he says they're all meat eaters. Meteor, and Chris is
Chris stupid.
Chris is sick of Paulie, bro, and you can tell he is sick of Paulie, bro.
I love the bathroom play. Like this.
Oh man. Oh yeah. That was chess move.
I loved it. I loved it.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Then come back on some like, what do y'all think he came back to? Why y'all think he did that? Was he trying to make a bigger deal of like, yo, I'm paying for this big dog trying to, or was he like trying to, maybe like, I'm gonna walk off on, then he changed his mind, like, you know what, never mind, I got it. What was that?
Because he knew he knows what it is. Like, it's slick in the moment, but that's something, if he picked the wrong person to do it to. Like, even if I did it to somebody else, it could have been a different conversation afterwards. I know I'm gonna hear about it, but it might just be a quick talking to. Like, nah, I know Paulie ain't gonna let this shit go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that, and I think it was too. He was trying to test: is this really like a me thing, or is this a Paulie thing? Because I feel like some other guys, not Paulie cheap ass, would have been like, "Oh, Chris went to the restroom." I'm not even looking at it that way. Like he trying to avoid paying the tab. I'm just gonna pay the tab so we can get out of here. We all got money. We on the move. Like fuck all of this waiting for him to get back to the bathroom. Push come to shove. If I really need it, I get it back from him later.
Mm-hmm.
But he seen that. I think he was testing Paulie in the sense of like, let me see if this motherfucker like would he even be willing to pay for it?
Mm-hmm.
Like would he even like just to save time be willing to be like, boom, here go 900. I'll catch Chris on the back end, or you got the next two. Because I know like when you go out in groups like this with your friends, sometimes like if it happens and you pay for two in a row, like somebody be like, well, I got the next two or something of that nature. So I think it really went to show for Chris like, oh, this nigga ain't fucking with me at all. Like he really on some fuckboy shit, like ordering this shit knowing that I'm gonna pay for it.
And to Spike's point, Chris didn't just like leave to the bathroom on some unannounced shit. I've got to make a pit stop, but he told him, like, when Paulie asked him straight up, like, you forgetting something? You get it. I paid the last one. Like, that was the test right there. Like, I'm gonna walk away. I see how you reacted. Let me turn around real quick before this turns into a thing. And Paulie made it a thing later on in the episode. He made it a real thing. I felt Chris on that, man. Don't fucking bait me, because you know what you're doing, bro. Like, stop fucking playing with me.
Yeah, bro. I love that. Like
that later scene, like, stop.
There's a trade.
I promise on everything, bro. I'll rock your shit right here in the park.
Right here, bro. Right here. But there's a trait about Chris that I really enjoyed. It's a through line that I spoke about. And I'll speak to it when we get to that scene. But I'll just say to the scene, just a funny thing is like the fact that Tony knew that jungle cats attack when women are on their periods is hilarious. Why do you know this?
And I don't even know if that's correct.
I don't either. But
and
like,
what the fuck is a jungle cat?
Bro, I don't know.
Cat that lives in the jungle, man.
And when would a jungle cat be around a woman on her period?
Right.
Like I thought about all this.
What would attract, bro? That's what makes it so good. Like it either has meaning or has no meaning, bro.
Man, and no one corrected, bro. No one was
if you Chris, man, your Gumar got to be colder than Adriana. Like, you can't be stepping out with somebody who ain't as cold as Adriana.
Let me see. Hold on. Let me see what he doing over here.
She ain't.
I mean, but it's a different flavor. She's a blonde, and
it's a different flavor, but I ain't.
I mean, she wasn't like no, like, it wasn't like a crazy downgrade. I wouldn't say. I think she ain't A, but she was cool. She's like,
cooler on the side,
like a good night. You know what I mean? Like a good, like we're gonna have a good time. But yeah, I mean that's kind of what it's for. It's not really so much the look.
That's fair.
More so it's the freshness of it. You know,
he's not at the Gumar stage. He at the like, I'm gonna hit you tonight. I might not talk to you for another 10, 11, 12 days. These niggas.
Well, they married.
They side. Yeah, this
on relationships on the side.
Yeah, I need to understand it.
I'm in and out. You're cooler in and out.
Yeah. You got a day of the week. Like straight up. I'm seeing you on Fridays and Tuesdays.
Cause you remember he said, I don't pay for nothing, bro. Like when he told Paulie that earlier, we had to kick up to him. He was like, bro, I don't pay for nothing, bro. Like, I don't
pay for. Yeah.
I'm still a young man out here, bro. I'm a
young man, bro. Look at me.
Hey, man. Bro, this is one of my favorite scenes. The next.
Paulie.
Oh, so Paulie pulls up.
Pulled up in the lack, man. That shit was hilarious, bro.
So go U-turn on him.
So Paulie pulls up, hit the U-turn right in front of Sanctuary. I was talking about you owe me $800 something basically. But go ahead. What was it funny about it to you, Spike?
Hold on, real quick before Spike go. You know how annoyed I'd be if you looking at me dead in my eyes and I'm the only nigga out here and you still laying on your horn. You know how annoyed I'd be, bro. That's why Chris gave him that look and took another sip of his coffee before I get up. Because now I know you're being a dickhead. I'm the only nigga out here. Why are you laying on your horn, bro? You know you see me, see you.
Like, even the pull up was disgusting,
nasty,
bro. I'm gonna hit the Yui right here on like he pulled up like I've been looking for you all day, nigga.
Bro.
All day, and we ain't even talking about $1,000. Like, we ain't even talking about like, nigga, it's money. Like, don't get me wrong, but we ain't even talking about like, nigga, I'm gonna kill you money. We talking about like, we just play money. And you roll up like, nigga, I've been thinking about this shit since last night, nigga. Where's you at, nigga? This is the equivalent of a nigga hitting your phone up like 1,000 times. You owe him maybe $10. Like, just let me get this quick little 10 and you need consistent. Hey, bro, you got them 10? Like, nigga, what the fuck?
Like, bro, you gave me that 15 minutes ago, bro.
You gave me that.
As soon as Chris walked up to the car, nigga said, hand out 860.
860.
He didn't say nothing else. 860. What?
With points too.
Yeah, but if you don't pay by the night, it's with points. Man. That's one of the moments where I'm like, man, I don't know if this organization bigger than the person thing. Because if I'm Chris, bro, I got everything in me to say, man, fuck you and your points. We ain't seen a dime of that money, bro.
Yeah, come get it, nigga.
Yeah, come get it.
Yeah. That exactly.
Like, I'm not paying you points. I wish you would charge me points for this, man.
Yeah,
fuck
for dinner. You're gonna learn today.
Especially after I came back and told you I got it.
I got it.
If you told me I got it, then you should have let me. If you asked for 860 the next day, you should have just let me pay for it then. Fuck him. I'd have been mad as hell, bro.
Boy, this was right there with the other scene when he pulled up in a little bit.
Yeah, Polly don't be playing. That's one thing I do respect about Polly, man. Polly's not here for the shits.
Nah, he not. He do not play.
Yeah, I agree. Which brings me to an ad for this episode.
Oh, shit.
I thought we was done. Brought it back on you, season 5. Are you in a financial bind and you can't find a way out of paying for your bills or even paying up to the big man? Well, Paulie's Payday Loans got your back. They will always find a way to make sure you're never short on your envelopes. And when it comes to points, the interest is low. And they can guarantee to never take it easy when it comes to your needs. Paulie's Payday Loans. We go to our next thing.
What? You a silly dude for that. That's the worst. That's the most predatory loan you could probably ever find yourself in.
Oh boy. Yeah, that's definitely, they ain't gonna never let you live it down. The interest is crazy. We go to a scene on the golf course. They're having just eating outside on a casual day. It's Angelo. So we get introduced to him, which is one of the people of the class of 04. Carmine, Johnny Sack, and Tony. And they talk a little bit about Tony B, so they're still tying in all these characters of the class of 04 smoothly. Carmine smells burning hair. And I know us in the community, black community, have spelled burning hair, but not in this sense.
Mm-hmm. That's a symptom for like a stroke.
Yeah, it's burning toast, I think. Yeah, I think that's what they say.
Yeah. This is scene.
I hated how they shot that. That shit was so fucking nasty, bro. I already hate egg salad anyway.
Getting the egg salad out of his mouth was crazy.
Get it out.
You gonna die, bro.
Bro, I cannot. I'm not gonna put my finger in your potato salad filled mouth.
Oh, that's crazy.
That was crazy. Did it so like? Wasn't it Tony that did it or?
Tony did it. Yeah, it wasn't even Johnny. It was Tony.
Johnny
was
crazy.
Johnny was like, get this nigga up out of here.
He was like, if he dies, he dies. That was definitely like, bro. But you know, it's crazy. I'm sorry, bro. It's just crazy because the actor, I think Tony Lip, rest in peace, that plays Carmine, he's doing such a good job because, like, if you pay attention, yeah, bro, like it's.
Like, did that happen for real?
No, that
shit was real, boy.
Stupid.
I can't breathe. Bro, it's so real because it's the way, it's the subtle acting. Like when he's not in the scene, but you can kind of see him.
Hey,
he looks like he's going through it.
He do though.
Like,
He
and
does,
look,
and everybody else
like,
going
He
about
had the
their
body-
bro,
business.
and
He
he's
had the
trying to
body
lock into the conversation,
convulsions
but
and
this
shit.
man is dying, bro. Like, he's dying while listening to this business transaction, bro. And it looks so real. That's why I'm crying, because I'm like, that is
Oh,
great
shit.
acting. You know, when you're amongst people and you know you don't feel good, and you still trying to
Yeah.
act normal, bro.
Yeah.
That's why it made me laugh. I'm like, bro, when you're with people and you're like, you know, like, oh man, I ain't,
You're like,
this-
what is that? That
bro,
stomach
yeah,
coming up. You
something
like,
off. Like, I
what
think
is
I
that?
can't do this, bro. I ain't feeling good. But
Yeah.
you trying to still be cool, like, yeah, you know. That's why it was so funny. But yeah, this is great acting though. Goodness gracious.
Nah, incredible
funny.
acting.
Johnny Sack letting him just keep that.
Johnny Sack, like, hey, y'all ain't even got to call the police. Just get the
Johnny
corner out
Sack,
here, bro.
like you
Get
get
the
yo,
corner
bro.
out here, bro. Bag
Just
this
get the
nigga up.
corner out here, but hopefully he
Bag
dead.
this nigga up.
Bro, I can't believe. I mean, he had put his hand in his mouth. He did just kind of like knock. He just knocked whatever was on his lip. He didn't even go in, bro. Like Tony, like,
No, that's good acting by James Gandolfini too, because I wouldn't have done like
bro, I'm not touching that. I'm not touching that. I'm
putting
not
my
doing
hand in his damn
CPR.
mouth.
I'm not
Like,
doing any of
We
that.
ain't doing none of that, bro. This right up there with when you be seeing people and they let some like they get spit on in a scene. How the fuck
Oh
did they pull that?
man,
Mhm.
bro.
I'm
I
always
told you,
amazed.
I think we discussed the most
Spit in their
egregious
face.
spitting in a scene
Ooh.
in Game of Thrones. Nah, nigga. Oh my goodness.
Which one was it in Game of Thrones?
When Cersei took that
drawing a
walk of
blank.
shame.
Oh.
Shame. And motherfucker walked up and did the two, like close range spit in the face. Like, I'm not that dedicated at anything.
Bro, like I said, you got one time. There ain't no reshoot of that scene. Like, can we get that again? Nah, nigga, you ain't getting that again.
You were not getting that shit. If you missed this shot, you miss it. We doing this shit. I would really sit there and like, do we really
Y'all
need
better
to
do that shit in
dump
CGI.
something, throw a tomato, like spitting in my fucking face.
It's crazy. Like, yeah, that's crazy. Like loogie and all. But yeah, great scene. Little Carmine gets the call from Johnny, and Johnny brings up the fact that he hasn't forgot. You know, after he calls Johnny, of course, they're in the hospital. And I mean, not Johnny, as Johnny calls Little Carmine, he's in the hospital with Tony, and then he brings up out of nowhere, I still haven't forgot about the arrangement last year. Now that's what gives us the timeline. Obviously,
You gotta set this up properly, man. 'Cause Tony's sitting there. First of all, Johnny Sack half-ass telling him, "Yeah, your dad had a stroke. We at St. Vincent's, blah blah blah." One of my favorite parts of this whole episode had no dialogue. Tony literally said some sad shit. That nigga Johnny look over, take another drag of his cigarette, don't even acknowledge that shit, and get straight into the, I haven't forgotten about that.
My man
Bro,
said-
pretty much saying I don't give a fuck.
shit. He said the sad shit, and he had a line like he didn't even ignite. I wonder if I can smoke in here. Like just with the
I wonder
cigarette.
if I can. That's right. he didn't even acknowledge the sad shit
Acknowledge
part.
that shit, nigga. This is the winter is coming moment for
Yes,
Game
it
of
is.
Thrones. Like
This
we
is-
talking about the shift. This is the scene right here that I was speaking about earlier. This is when everything changes. This is the beginning of the end.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I was watching Game of Thrones the other day, and they was telling the John and Brandon like y'all don't even know winter. Like y'all been privileged enough to have summer. Y'all summer babies. Like this is the same thing for Tony. Like you've been privileged enough to have a great relationship with New York for who knows how long. Who knows the last time that New York and New Jersey beefing? And this is Johnny Sack letting them know, nigga, I'm the Night King. Nigga. You fucked up a long time ago, nigga, and it's over. So
That's
this
a great
was a great
comparison.
scene.
That's a great comparison.
Hell of a comparison. Absolutely.
That's really good.
What you want, an apology? A fucking Whitman sampler? Like,
Bro.
I feel Tony like, bro, this was a year ago, bro. You still mad about that shit? You wanted to take out a boss?
Yeah.
Yeah, come on, bro. Now look. It's right on your plate. Just relax, dude. But yeah, so I just thought that was funny. Tony and Benny, they're riding out, and pretty much Tony just gets to check in on what's going on with Carm. Is there any guys around? Anything? He checks in, basically just like Tony being smart as he is. They're not only security, but they're also like the eyes and ears that they need. He's seen an opportunity to take advantage to see what she got going on, especially since the bear. The Ranger Rick or whatever. Whoa, hold up. Let me pause this. The next scene kind of got out there kind of quick there. Y'all see we can get there. But yeah, so I didn't have much to add to the Tony and Benny. Anything y'all thought to add to that?
My only add and question, was there ever a point in time that Tony considers that Carmella may cheat with one of these dudes she's sending up there, since you have the Furio scenario? Like, does that cross his mind, or does that cross y'all mind if y'all were Tony?
What about Furio?
Or like
Yeah,
any
I
any
know
new
she had eyes for
potentials.
Furio. I don't really
Yeah,
know about the
absolutely.
doctor. Like, does it cross your mind that, like, when Benny up here, what you doing?
Especially once I see how she looked at the Ranger.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, all right, you gotta now you confirmed already. You got a wandering eye. You was bold enough to tell me, like, which is
Do you
should
let
was
Benny know,
blowing my
like, man?
mind.
Do you let Benny know, like, bro, if you fuck my wife while you up here, I am going to kill you, nigga?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nah,
I don't think he sees it in Benny.
yeah, nah, Benny, he ain't even. I don't know if he's a maid. I guess he's a maid guy. I'm assuming, right?
Mm-mm.
He's just a soldier.
I wouldn't think so at this point.
Mm.
I think we later in season 6 when he has his altercation.
Okay, oh, he was made. Okay,
he's made by that
one
time.
of your favorites.
I might just thought about it, man. Artie ain't even in this episode.
I know. I
He
miss
is.
Buko,
We
man.
No,
seen
I'm
Artie
sorry.
in a while.
He's the next episode when
We ain't
when
seen
Tony B
Buko in a
comes
while.
home.
Yeah, come
That's
on,
right.
man.
When Tony, I forgot.
Get my guy Artie back in there, man. We go to the next scene. We get the best dream sequence in the series. Let's set it up like
Wait a
this.
minute.
Um,
I feel like you've been waiting on this for 5 years.
listen to
Watching
me,
this.
buddy. Bro.
Buddy.
So we get her when we go back to season 1, there's a dream that Tony has of Melfi. And he's peeing in the toilet and he looks over to the shower and Melfi's in there and he sees her and they zoom in on her face and then we pretty much shortly after wake up. I've always had questions say, hey, is that really Lorraine? Is that really you? I don't know. That way they edit from that to that. Then we get here, season 5, and we get a little pan of the hiney, and they turn around and bring us to the front. She got the 2 Tonys out.
Crazy.
And
the 2 Tonys. That's insane.
And that's crazy. I don't know what to add to this scene. I just like wow. I need to just like make a note here for like replay value. You know what I'm saying? Because like
way too much information.
Too much. Oh, my bad. Okay, all right, I'm the only one in this again, I guess. There's no deep dive into this scene here.
The biggest surprise in this is it was Melfi dreaming about it. I figured it would be Tony's dream. I didn't think it would be Melfi.
Her dream's a lot more explicit, ain't that something?
Yeah, man. Shout out to the old.
Does this mean that she like Slick wanted to do this?
I think she.
What does this mean?
I think it was a suppressed desire.
Yeah.
I think she's way too intelligent and emotionally mature to do it. But I think she even told Elliot, like, I used to think he was sexy.
Mm-hmm. The reason I asked, because even in the next scene, and I don't want to step on it more, but her look of dissatisfaction when she realizes what he's there for. I think it's almost like with Tony when she was explaining to him, it's not that you're attracted to me, it's the service that I'm offering and no one else does that for you in your life. And you think that you're attracted to me. She's almost under the same premise into this dream, which made me ask, like in the next scene when he walks in and she thinks that it's going to be a session and she realizes what he's there for, she's so disappointed. So I don't really think it's an attraction. It's the service that she offers to him that maybe turns her on or makes him appealing to her. The fact that she thinks she's helping him, that's her get off.
Facts, 100%.
Yeah, it's just moments like these and like her waking up and everything, just the scene being shot. It just makes me wish that like, why couldn't I have been like a stunt double? You know what I'm saying? Like maybe they gave me like white face and like, we not even on that scene no more. My bad. We at the office. Sorry about that.
White face is crazy.
I just to like, I cut my hair.
Marlon Wayans. She gonna like Marlon Wayans.
Yeah, all that. Like, yeah, I'll let me be rest in peace, James Gandolfini. Let me be the stunt double for that scene because yeah, it was pretty.
That's your white crush. That's it. Is that at the top of the white?
I don't know.
She for you.
I don't know. I never really thought of her like that, but she's really up there because it's like. Really? I guess how she
who's
playing everything.
Who's your favorite white woman right now?
My favorite white woman is crazy.
You had to think one off the top of your head.
Like what? Talking like just attractive?
I hope Dr. Umar ain't listening.
He's definitely my favorite white woman. I mean,
I ain't never really
it's
thought about
probably
this. You got one,
It's
Rich?
probably Margot, I guess. I mean, I ain't keeping close watch right now, but probably
Margot
Margot.
Robbie.
Maybe
I've
yeah.
got my favorite is one that's I don't know why, but it's just something about her. I really got a thing for Anne Hathaway.
I like that.
Don't know why. It's not but it's not like a body sex appeal type of thing. It's just something
It's a
about her.
demeanor thing, you know.
I don't know what it is, man, but it's just something about her. I'm like, man, I'd go.
Yeah. What's happening?
I know everybody. I know the young chick now, the chick that's on Euphoria. I know she's shaking up the internet. Sydney Sweeney.
Sydney
Yeah,
Sweeney's
she got them things out
that's
every
what
time
she
a camera
from?
around.
Especially
that's
if you
what
watch
she from.
Euphoria. Yeah.
Every time a camera's out on the red carpet, she got them
Yeah,
things out.
things.
She don't buy nothing that ain't low cut.
I ain't know where she was from. That's crazy.
You ain't never seen. You watched Euphoria, I thought.
Nah, I ain't watching. Nah.
I don't know if she was anything before that. She's been in other things since then.
That's her. Yeah, that's her breakout role.
You got anything, Spike, before we move on? Any you watch a lot of shows.
I do. Goddamn, from Succession. Shiv.
Yeah, man. Shiv definitely got
I don't know her real
yes.
name, but Shiv will be very high on my list.
I get that.
I like it.
Shout outs. Yeah, man.
Thank y'all
Sarah
for bearing
Snook.
with us. Sarah Snook.
Thank y'all for letting us get that off.
Thank y'all for letting us get this off. They were like,
y'all know that Dexter Laboratory meme where he looking in the locker with Albert Einstein. I have failed you. I feel like a picture of Umar should be hanging up there, and I should be like, I have failed you, my bad, bro.
Look at him like, look, hey, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You know what I mean? Like it's hard. Like women are beautiful. What do you want us to do?
Thanks.
But Tony,
shout out to Lorraine Bracco for really getting down.
Really,
too.
Yeah, definitely method acting. I feel it.
That was her.
I just all right. I can't even. Anyways, I gotta move on. I gotta move on. One of y'all take over this spot right here. This office scene. I'm sorry.
So
I'm stuck
for this
still.
one, Tony goes in there and he's shooting his shot. I sent you the basket. I made the phone call. You know how I feel. Now he had that shit on, Mo. I know.
Yeah, he did.
We talk about dressing on here. Like he put his best shit on. He went in there. He gave his pitch.
Mm-hmm.
This is my pitch. This is why I want you to ride with me. And we got her response. I'll go last. I'll let you two, since I introduced it. Like y'all tell me what y'all think about his approach and even her response from it.
You want to go, Mo?
I think she did a great job here.
I do. I think I just say that when he says two Tonys, I think this is the approach, or at least this is like the closest version that we can see that this is probably how Tony came at Carmela. Like there was some level of genuineness in it, you know what I mean? Where it's like you can tell he's very like, forget all of these other things about me. This is the regular suburban man-woman pursuit. I'm into you, and forget all of those other traits. Let me just be a man. Let me court you, date you. I think this is the closest version that we can probably get more of a concept. Obviously, I mean, we got many saints, but I don't feel like it gives a ton of context for me, not at least for me. So I feel like this is giving us a little glimpse into that. But I love how Jennifer Melfi reacts here. This is great.
Yeah, I love how on top of things, no pun intended, that Dr. Melfi is. You get what I'm saying? She's naturally trained to ask another question, as Another Week in the Books famously says. It reminds me of an interview Jay-Z did. I think it was with Elliot Wilson. It was pretty much, or it might have been the New York Times. And he was just talking about, like, somebody asked him about the hate he receives, like people hating him. And he just says, I don't take that personally. It's the position. Like, I never think it's me. It's the position that I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Dr. Melfi is so self-aware in that sense. Like, you don't want me per se. You might be telling yourself this and you might be thinking that, but really it's the position that I'm in. I'm providing something, I think Spike said it earlier, that nobody else is providing to you. And that's what your attraction lies. That's where your attraction lies. Because as we know, when you get me, then what? It ain't gonna be that. It ain't gonna be that, man. It's a journey, it's a chase, it's something that you haven't had. You're not used to people telling you no. You want to knock this under your belt and move on with your life. Like, you do not love me, you do not, all these things. I respect him going to it. Like I said, it looked like genuine. Like, I was thinking about all my best moves. This is the place I've been most honest with you. Just tell me. Like, if it ain't this, Tony is not giving up.
Mm-hmm.
But I respect Dr. Melfi for looking at it like, look, man, you want to come back to therapy. That's what this is.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't, my ultimate duty is to make sure you're good in that space. If that means you hate me personally, that's cool, but I want to make sure you get the help you need.
You got some really nasty lines. I want your skin. I want your mouth.
Yeah, he
I
was
want your
there.
eyes.
I want your eyes.
Relax, my nigga, bro. Have y'all ever done this? Y'all ever been in this?
Definitely done.
What's that?
There's probably a version of that we've.
I want your skin and mouth.
Yeah. Well,
I'm sure.
It's probably a version of like, you know.
Have y'all ever put the full court press on like this outside?
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I can't let this one slip away.
I cringe every time I think about it.
The cringe is awful. I'm glad my Facebook got hacked.
Crazy text messages out there.
I'm glad my Facebook got hacked and stole it, bro. Because them old messages is nuts, bro.
Yo, bro. Man, shout out to all the screenshots that were never posted, man.
Yeah, man.
My goodness.
Whew. I'm telling you, bro.
Thanks.
But yeah, and then he gives her a kiss and she says, "Don't do that." And you know, I couldn't quite pick up the read on where she was at with that kiss right there in that moment.
It seemed like she liked it, bro. She just know right from wrong. She not like Tony. She's not dealing with sociopathic thoughts. Mm-hmm. She knows that like this, I know too much about you. Even if I'm attracted to you, even if I like to kiss, it's not going to work, bro. Like you different. We're different people. We're in different lives. There's no way that I'm going to be accepting of the things that you think are cool or your everyday life.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think it was a good job. And like you said, not us as viewers seeing it, and there was no clear stance that she took, but you kind of could tell if you know the show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We get a quick scene. Little Paulie, he basically comes to the Soprano house.
Paulie a bitch, man.
Bitch ass.
Try to run.
He different.
Shit.
Niggas reading the TV guide.
Go to the bathroom, bro. Come on, like what?
It's crazy.
And you got the strap though. Like,
yeah,
if you're not smart enough to get away from a belt with the strap, and you can go in there, and I can just run. I can just run in the house. Like, yeah.
You're right.
And I would have been hot. I hope that's a guest bathroom too.
It probably is.
Yeah, that's the one that Vic was getting down with Carmella.
I got you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you ain't finna just go ham in my bathroom, bro. Ain't nobody.
Yeah, that's where Ralphie and Janice was doing coke.
Yeah, is that that's the same?
Nah, they was upstairs. They was upstairs. My fault.
That's a powder room.
Oh, that's a bathroom.
Powder room.
That's the powder room. Yeah, that's what Carmella was showing Vic the wallpaper. Her ideas for redecoration.
Her ideas, huh?
Yeah, she was trying to get her walls redecorated.
Walls painted.
She was trying to.
Great
hell yeah, great minds.
Boy, she was trying to let him see the two Tonys. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So just like Melfi did, you feel me?
Hey man, you gotta keep it moving, Mo.
You got the Tonys.
You gotta keep it. You gotta go to the next scene, Mo.
You still on the two Tonys.
I'm sorry. I forgot this happened. That's why it threw me off. But the two Tonys is crazy. Melfi and Elliot, they're having a quick conversation or a session, and Elliot plainly puts it like, you're scared of how this thug will act of being rejected. And she said,
is Elliot right or is he a hater?
He's both.
He's both.
Yeah, I don't know if he's a hater like on Tony specifically. I think that
I'm just saying.
I mean, he could be on the sense of like, you don't have no interested client like that. I'm
so
the most interested
of this.
Yeah, in a way, because you think when we get to the later scenes of the dinner table talk, it's like you really just hating so you spilling my business, and we supposed to actually, we're not just colleagues. I'm your patient. You're really jealous that yeah.
I'm doing more. Yeah, that's good, right? I'm your therapist. I should be his therapist versus you.
Or just the excitement level more so. Like, you don't understand. Like, I got direct access to this thing. This is like in our mundane life of being therapists. This is such a different case and understanding. It really gives me, it gives me life in a way. Cause remember, he told her a while ago, like, bro, you need to quit him, basically. And she was like, I know, but I'm thinking about taking him back.
Was he hating when he did that though? That's what I'm wondering. Like, was he being a hater?
I don't think he's just a hate. I think it's probably a colleague thing, but I mean, he's probably a hater. Yeah.
It don't come off as genuine concern to me.
Yeah.
Like there's
I think
more
he,
there, and you brought up a good point. Like you hit a good point when you said like I wish it was me. There's some envy there, but it don't really come off as concern.
Mm.
And I don't know if it's just him being in his therapist bag and doing his thing, and that's the reason that Melfi sees him because he's that good where it shouldn't come off as concern. It comes off as me giving you advice or me being a hater. But I'm leaning towards hater. He's seeming like a hater.
Mm.
think he don't try. I don't think he means to come off as a hater, but he
Yeah.
just naturally is. He's so far removed from that type of life. Even the way he ends the conversation, like talking about maybe it's the Italian thing. I think that's the thing that Melfi does tie on to. Like it's almost like you wouldn't understand me and him. Like so, you're looking at it from a rational stance, which is what you need to do, which is what I'm paying you for. But this is one of those topics where, if you've ever been to therapy, there are just certain topics you try to delay because you automatically in your head say, man, even if I explain this, you just ain't gonna understand. Like I know what I'm saying is crazy, but if you really understood why I'm doing this, like if you start the therapy session by telling someone, your therapist, I know this is fucked up, but I know why I'm doing it too, that automatically knows like no matter what you tell me, I'm still gonna keep doing this shit. You got to reach a certain point to where it's not there.
Yeah, that's a fact. And I'm not lingering here, but I do think genuinely outside of like me being funny about the two Tonys, I think this is a good look for her. I don't think we see this style, the hairstyle, like it almost look like it's cut, but it's some kind of style. So it's a good look for her. And it's I think she always comes to Elliot looking a certain way from versus her sessions. I've kind of tracked that. I don't know why, but you know, or maybe it's just her being more Jennifer than Dr. Melfi. We go to
that's a good point.
Yeah, we go to Chris and Tony, and they talk at the Bing, and he asks, "Is this about the Easter baskets?" And I don't even want to know what that is.
That's hilarious.
I
I love that
Like,
shit.
I don't even want to know what that is,
bro. I don't even know.
Yeah, bro.
I don't know what that is,
love
and to
this.
be honest, I don't want to know.
Yeah,
I don't want to know.
yeah.
That's why you don't tell on yourself, man, Chris. You got to learn.
Yeah.
Everybody out
Tell
there
me.
listening,
Tell me what we here for. I'd never present. Like
I would never
why do
present
you
some
think we here?
information.
I don't know, bro. Like this is like when you get pulled over. You know why I pulled you over? Nope. I have no
Absolutely
idea.
I tell you, it's like when you go to the
no
when you go to
idea,
the
bro.
doctor's office, don't diagnose it for them. Let them do their job. Like people, like I think it's this. I looked it up. It said this. These are the symptoms. Nope. No. Let them.
Here's
work.
what's wrong. You
Yep.
tell me. You've been
I
doing this for a
promise you. I
long
tell
time.
people,
Here's
I
what's
said,
wrong.
stop giving them all that. Just tell them what's going on. Don't self-diagnose because then they're like lean on. Yeah, make them do their job, bro.
Or they may dismiss you. They may
What the
dismiss your
fuck are you
diagnosis.
doing with Easter baskets, my nigga?
Like,
that you
what?
think that what are you doing with Easter baskets that you think I had to call you in here and give you a sit down for?
What you about?
Like I do
Like,
not
what
want
are
to
you
know.
talking about, bro? Like, just I'm glad I haven't heard, nigga.
I would love somebody to give us a theory of what happened with the Easter baskets. Just make up like it could be like, what do they call it? Fan fiction. Give us a fan fiction story about Christopher and the Easter baskets. Like, please give us that. But basically, Tony says, bro, like, buckle up, bro. I used to do the same thing back in the day with paying for the lunch, for the dinners or whatever. And Tony says, cheer up. One day, a kid is going to do that for you. You sure about that?
I love the lead into this stuff. I'm sorry. What was the question that you
I'm
asked?
just gonna let that breathe. Tony says, "Hey, cheer up. One day a kid is gonna do the same thing for you." And I say, ... You sure about that, Tony?
I like that
if you
just
know,
because.
you know.
Yeah.
Well, not even that.
Spoiler.
That's it.
Not even that. Not even if you don't. I think it just ties in perfectly. I think what Mo just said ties in perfectly, like the beginning of the end. Like, are we sure this thing is even going to be around enough in the same fashion
for me to even
that
get
payback
from this? That is a great point, Rich.
I may be the last of the era.
Yeah, like I may be the last motherfucker that got to do this. Chris really got to worry about that. Tony didn't.
Yeah,
like this shit was solid when I was doing it. When I was paying for Feast Lamata and them niggas to eat hibachi, like I ain't have to worry about it, because I knew that I was going to have the Chris looking at it like, bruh, I don't even really rock with y'all. I'd rather be doing movies or whatever it may be. So if something presents itself where I can get away from this, I'm going to do it. So like I'm investing all of this money for what? This time for what? And that speaks to what we were talking about as it's getting close to the end. That's why this doesn't make sense to Christopher, but it makes sense to Tony. But I also like how Tony told him, like, bro, this is a part of it.
It's a
Like, you
tradition.
bitching about what? Yeah, like this how it works. Like, this is what you signed up for. This wasn't new. Like, you knew this thing. You knew these things happen. Like, you get the perks of being a part of this thing. So now when it come time to pay dues for that perk, you trying to act like it's crazy. It's not crazy, bro. This how it
In the
works.
in the hood, the little nigga always go get the swishers. You always go
I
get the
was just
shells.
about to
You
say
always
it.
go to the store.
You the
Like,
nigga going to the store, bro. Like, yeah,
yeah,
you the store nigga.
you on a store run. Straight
Mhm.
up. Like, I'm not
Or
doing that.
even
That's what
like
you
I
do.
done been in, yeah. We done been in situations well, growing up, or not even growing up, as adults, it's like, oh, we're going out to eat. We do this often. It's on you this time. Like, I've been in the same situation Chris in, and you can't be like, you
Mhm.
ate free the last 3-4 times. Like, you can't
That's
be like,
true.
I don't know, bro. Like, no, bro. This is a collective thing. Like Dame said, well, Jay said, like, we be each other's crutches. Like, it can't be like, I
Mm-hmm.
ain't got it. But you've been sitting here eating free with us for 4-5 meals, bro. You can't
Mhm.
do that.
It's all
It's time
fun
to
Yeah,
pay
until
the
the
bill.
rabbit
You got
shit
to
the
pay the
gun.
bill. And
Yeah.
ain't
yeah, come
nobody trying to
time, you gotta
hear
do it.
you ain't got it. I got to get it next time. You got to pay. You got to
Fuck
figure
all
out
that,
the
bro.
rest of your financial situation. You figure that shit after you
That
pay the
ain't got
bill.
nothing to do with me. Yeah, that ain't got nothing to do with me, bro. Like, you've been sitting here eating free, like so you want a
Cause I,
steak, lobster,
yeah,
champagne. Okay, cool,
Crazy.
bro. That's what we do when we go out. Like, you know what this is. Like, that was always, I always questioned Chris about this, his dedication to this, because like, even it ain't even just mafia culture. It's like friend culture, bro. Like,
Yeah.
this happens amongst friends. Like, I got it
I
this time, or you
just
got it
went
this
through
time.
it
Yeah,
this
it's on you this
weekend.
time.
Group of
Yeah,
5, we wasn't spending time just splitting that shit up. All right, man. Somebody get a. All right,
I
bet.
got
I
it, bro.
got
Like,
breakfast
yeah,
this morning. Somebody to pay for breakfast the past 2 days.
somebody pay for
But
this. Exactly.
Spike, you gotta take one thing into account though, Spike. This was all before inflation. Chris tried to hit him with that was before inflation.
That was
Tony said,
before
I don't give a
inflation.
fuck about
Tony,
none
like,
of
man,
that.
get the fuck out of my office, bro.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, stop it.
Yeah, but like, this how it goes. Like, yeah, it's your turn, bro. And
Yeah.
you can't be the bum nigga on your turn.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Speaking of that, the fellas eat, and Chris has that look, and man, this is so real. Like that,
Ooh,
knowing that
oh
you are
man.
about to take on this tab.
I've been
You're
waiting for
heated.
this,
He's looking
bro.
like, hey, anybody else need? Well, how about desserts? Like Paulie is pouring it on so thick.
Holly a piece of shit, man.
You
This
see the
is real
lobster
piece of
shell
shit.
stacked up.
Bro, this is real piece of shit behavior. Now, I would fight a nigga though. Like, everything that we just said in the soliloquy, of course, that's true. But you ordered champagne for other tables. I want the extra appetite. Nah, we finna fight. We fighting, bro. Me and
Yeah.
you finna go outside and we finna handle this because you playing with me.
Yeah, Johnny Sack ordering lobster rolls for his wife at home. I'm getting the go orders, my nigga. Y'all got me fucked
Yes.
up.
Jenny Sack, bro.
Now y'all playing. This ain't even a part of what
Jenny
we do.
Sack. Let's just keep this in.
And I'll see you at the $100 table, says Tony. We finna go jack ball all of this money on blackjack. I'm like, nah, y'all got me fucked up, bro.
That's
You
crazy.
seen what Ray said? Ray talking about I can't even remember the last time I ate this much. Like, oh, I'm about to slap everybody at this table, man.
Oh,
Y'all having
y'all
a
got
time with my
me.
bill.
bro, y'all got Marty Marr messed up, boy.
And them looks that probably shooting over to Chris.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like, yeah, bitch.
And he stayed at the table to the end too with him. Like he's like, oh yeah,
and tried to make small talk
like,
though. This is
bro,
what
it
sent a
did-
nigga over the top.
But
this
then
what gets you beat up.
grab the bill. He grabbed it first. You're not paying for it. Like you're not even paying for the bill. You don't need no reason to look at the receipt. You're grabbing the bill first. Like, yeah, that'll do it. Here you go, bro. 1184. Like that's crazy. Like, yeah, I'm satisfied now.
I gotta
ain't
play
gonna
that
lie.
number. I gotta play that number.
I gotta
I
play
promise
that
you.
number. Oh,
I don't know if I
man.
would have ever got over that, bro.
I don't know.
Like, you
Nah,
got
bro.
me. You officially
Yeah.
got me fucked up. My
You
nigga.
on my list.
Like, yeah, you exactly.
You
I'm
on my
gonna make
list.
you like No Country for Old Men. I'm gonna make you a special project of mine. That's what
Yeah.
I'm gonna do.
Straight up.
You finna find out, nigga. You finna. I promise you, finna find out.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't gotta worry about coming to look for me because I'll be finding you. I'm gonna make
find
you a
you.
special project of mine.
Mm-hmm. Boy, it's crazy. So they end up walking outside or whatever, and this is what I spoke about earlier about one of my favorite things about Chris. It's a consistent trait that Chris, he will scrap with anybody, and that he don't care what it is. Like he's such a hothead. He's like, bro, I will go with anybody. You win, lose, or draw. Like I don't
quick.
care. Yeah.
I'm sorry. You skipped the scene though with Seal asking Tony about
Oh, right.
the face. Do y'all have any input on that?
Nah,
I
not
found it.
really.
I found it
I don't.
interesting. I
Go
found it
ahead.
interesting that Tony, one, that Seal could tell that something was bothering him, and two, that Tony would admit, oh, it's a girl, and I'm going through this. Like even with the stuff with his wife, and people know that, like how divorce is looked upon with their religion. I just really found it interesting that Tony was being that open and that Seal picked up on.
You know what? I never thought about how crazy that sounds if I'm Sil. I guess I looked at it from I looked at everything as a whole. But if I'm Sil, like I know you're going through a separation with your wife, you got this. You're not yourself, and you telling me just because of a girl you said was a platonic friend, but it ain't. Like you're not worried about getting back with your family.
Right.
Like
That's what would have if Tony was my friend, that was how I would have took it. Just like what you said, Rich. Like what? Caught in
yeah,
another
that's how
nigga's
I didn't even think about it until you just said it like
You know,
that. Like hold up, that is weird.
but you know what almost got me though? I think even on another twist, you're watching this, and I was watching it from the lens of like, okay, Tony trying to lighten up on the eating because he know Chris, he having money problems, whatever. We talked to him about it earlier. So you thinking like
it wasn't.
no, but
I
that's
don't
what I'm
think he
saying
gave a
though,
fuck about
like,
none of that.
but you're watching it thinking like Tony trying to ease up on his nephew because we keep getting those references of like, I'm looking out, and then you get there like, oh no, I'm tripping over a girl. No, I ain't letting up either. Nigga, I'm full. I'm full to the mug just like everybody else, bro. Like let's go gather this money.
I don't even think that crosses mind. I think
I,
Tony
well,
look at
to
it
me,
like
when I'm
y'all
watching it though, I'm
niggas, y'all
thinking
getting
like
money.
it.
I set the board for y'all to get money. There's no
Yeah.
reason a dinner bill should be like I can't even believe that we're talking about this.
Yeah.
A dinner bill, like, bro. We're talking about $1,100. Like you ought to make that from a sports book. Like you ought to have that just off the wham. But again, like to your point, the fact that Seal and that Tony was wearing it in such a state that you can tell, that's crazy. Because we all had homeboys or been that homeboy was like, man, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, bro.
What's
You
up
ain't
with
made.
you, bro?
Yeah, you been off tonight, bro.
Yeah, something. And then he responds, man, it's this chick. Oh man,
Yeah, you know how it is. You know how it
got a
goes.
whole wife at home, bro. Like what's going on?
But real
Got a
quick
whole
before you
wife
get
at
back,
home, bro.
before you get back outside, Mo, I just want to say one more thing about Chris that I love in the scene. If you ever been this mad, you can understand. Chris didn't even say shit. I don't know if anybody's been that mad where you ain't even got you so high.
You can't even explain it.
I can't even explain it right now. I can't even say fuck you at the table. Like I'm so high, I just gotta sit here and take it. Chris was pissed.
Fuming.
Because the next thing coming from me is violence.
Yeah.
Like
straight up.
that mad to where like I can't. There's nothing else that's gonna come from me other than violence, bro.
I'm
We're
going
getting
to take
into
it
if
there.
I speak. Yeah, like it's going all the way there. It ain't no roadblocks, ain't none of that. We finna take it there if I talk about this. Yeah,
Yeah, that was good acting. You're right.
Like even walking to the car. And Paulie's still trying to talk.
And probably just like egging it on because he just can't let it ride because he's still mad about the Pine Barrens story for real.
Bro.
Like, he's still mad about Pine Barrens for real. Like that was what that was. Like, oh, I'm getting back not only for the 840 or whatever, but now I'm getting back on the Pine Barrens. You telling him I lost my shoe. So he just getting all the way off on him like that. And
bro, I love what Chris saw it, bro. Don't stop trying to bait me, Paul.
Stop trying to bait me.
Yeah,
I know what you're doing, bro.
That's the worst feeling when you mad and you irritated, and that part, like the person that know how to irritate you, keep dig. Like, well, I mean, like, bro, stop talking to me, bro, because this finna get ugly. Like,
you think you can't get touched? You think you can't get touched?
Do the thing.
I'm about to prove that you can.
Yeah, he told him, he's like, bro, Paulie, go ahead. This is your big moment. And then Paulie just all talk here, just like, you know what? I don't care who you're related to anymore, bro. You about to do nothing. You slow building it up, bro. I bet you about to get folding chicken wing, bro. But the waiter comes.
He made everybody get shrimp cocktails though,
bro.
Not
got the Lebanese potato. You didn't even touch it. I was full, like, bro.
I lost my appetite, man. Fuck my appetite,
bro. You said it over the ladies. I'm showing them how to be a gentleman. You should learn, bro. What are you talking about?
You set them skanks, Cristal.
No,
that would have been it. Learn how to be a gentleman. For me, that would
have been
it might have been it before then, but
it was definitely
me and fighting in the park.
I gotta play them numbers. That's probably would have been it right there.
I'm about to take one of them Cristal bottles and cracked it over Paulie
in the restaurant. Yeah,
in the restaurant. Definitely TMZ style, bro. Chris left $16 tip.
Which is even more egregious than anything else.
And the way y'all, I know y'all want us to feel bad, some people, but the waiter was way out of line, bro.
Yeah,
Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on,
Way
hold
out
on,
of line, bro.
Not to result in what he, bruh, that there was nothing
Well,
that he did that ended up that.
I'm going to talk about that part too. I'm saying
Yeah,
you're way
there's
out of
nothing that
line.
he did that.
I've
You
been waiting to
never
get to
go
this scene
chase a
since we started
customer.
this
I
show.
know you have. You never chase
Oh my
down a
God,
customer
bro.
about a tip, bro. Like ever. That's just never. I've been a server. You never chase down a customer about the tip amount. That you are you crazy?
I know that's the rule. I know that's the rule. But I'm sorry if I was, I'll be on the same shit because you gotta give me an answer. At this point, I don't even want the money. You gotta explain yourself.
But you don't have no idea. Like you done served all of these dudes. They ate all this stuff. You ain't heard like a little bit of mob talk or some kind of
I was just
something.
gonna
These
say,
dudes are
Rich,
all
But that
this
makes me even more mad. Y'all
This
got
the
it.
first time in history, though, Rich. Me and you've been on the different sides. It's like, bro, as soon as you step out that door asking me about that tip,
Yeah.
you getting whatever come to you.
I get it.
Like,
I
bro,
get it.
stop playing. Like, I don't even know why. Like Chris said, man, take your ass. You got a wife and kids. Take your ass back.
Yeah, that's
there.
exactly, bro. Then
Like,
go back.
I
Then.
don't even know why you here.
And like,
Y'all right.
Like,
Y'all are right.
You just
But
gotta
I'm
eat
like,
that
damn.
$16, bro. Just eat that 16. It's
yeah, you
over.
had to, yeah. You
Eat the
this ain't.
$16.
You ever had a
bro.
low
That's
tip?
your tip for the
Bro,
night.
you ever
That's
had a
your
low
tip for
tip
the night,
before?
bro.
All right, well, there's another one,
You
bro.
come
Keep it
chasing
moving.
after me talking about is a service back, bro. Okay, like now you in the mix.
Yep.
You a part of this
that's
shit
facts.
now, bro.
You messing with mob guys. These guys,
Like you
they break the
playing at this
law
point.
on the daily, bro. They've murdered people. Like these guys are all dressed in suits. This is not a pastor meeting, bro.
And
And
like
my
you had to
man's,
know that before you come
Come
out.
on, bro.
My man's
This
got
is
a
not a
sign.
pastor meeting, dog.
Service.
you know what happened? You know what happened? My man's got to sign that big table, and he started counting that money already. He said,
Yeah,
"I'm at
that's
least
what
about
happened.
He
to.
thought
I'm
he
at
had
least
it
about to
already.
get 300.
300, yeah.
I'm about to at least get 300 off this
That is
table
it, bro.
alone.
I'm leaving here with something.
So you expecting that money?
He
It
thought
don't
he hit a lick.
come.
He
$16.
thought he hit a lick.
$16 is like quarters, bro. Like, oh man.
Nigga said I'm
like you
tapped
said,
out.
Like you
Chris
said,
said I'm
Rich,
tapped
you
Yeah, I'm
out.
tapped out, bro.
You expecting like, these niggas eating good. Like this
Yeah.
gonna be a fat tip. Man, you see
Another
$16,
bottle of
oh,
Cristal. He even did listen, Spike. He even did the
took
math
the
in his head.
alcohol
Like,
and
even if you take the alcohol out of it, I should be making this amount, bro. 16, I ain't going, bro. Fuck y'all.
$16
Hey, bro,
is crazy.
This one of the best things in the series for me. Cause like it just encompasses everything about their lifestyle and how little, as to what you were saying, Mo, how little like observers of the lifestyle or civilians, how little they are like, bro, you're in danger. You out here playing around over it. Like, okay, take the $16 and go home. But you out here playing around with people that will kill you for no reason and speed off in a Hummer. Like that's what's going on. And you don't even realize
it. He peak hot. You caught him at peak hot. Him and Paulie about to scrap. You caught me at the peak hot.
Great point.
Bro,
and it's not even a normal situation. This is a situation where I didn't want to give you the $16.
I didn't want to give you
I didn't
nothing.
want to give you that.
Nothing.
Hey,
I could have gave you straight that, no change, bro.
And murder is so common for us that I still had time. I had enough presence of mind to grab the check
back.
To take the bread back.
Bro, that's my money, Paulie.
And that's my money, Paulie.
Bro, he hits him with a Debo. I mean, he hits him with a Craig and a Debo. Hit him over the head with a brick.
Man.
Bro, do you know how mad you got to be to hit somebody in the head with a brick?
He wanted that to be Paulie. That's
that is attempted murder. Like I know these are mob guys, but just a general civilian. Do you know how mad you have to be, like Craig from Friday, to hit somebody with a brick, bro? This is not like some air balloon like ball or dodgeball. This is a brick.
And then the solution to the problem is I'm gonna pull the strap out and shoot him and go ahead and kill him so he don't talk to nobody about this.
Yeah, let's put him out of his misery, man.
He can't wake up about this.
Damn.
Yeah, he's like, man, he's like, bro, this prick's still going. Like, you know what it remind me of? We got the movie Shaft, bro. And this gets me so hot. This is why I have a hard time watching.
Homeboys Got Rhythm.
Homeboys Got Rhythm. When he was shaking, bro, Mekhi Phifer was shaking for his life, bro, on the freaking thing. He said, homeboy got rhythm. This nigga's dying, bro. I hate Christian Bale. I'm sorry. I can't stand this nigga to this day. I would never watch Batman because him saying that line, he'll play racist so
that's
well.
One of the funniest racist. That's one of the funniest racist moments in history.
No, it is funny, but it's like, dang,
a nigga is dying next to you shaking, and the first thing you say is homeboy got rhythm.
Bro, ain't no music playing. Anyways, I can't. That was so terrible, bro. But y'all go back and watch Shaft, man. Shouts out to Samuel. But yeah, they pretty much put him out as misery.
That was a crazy scene right there.
Yeah, that was that. You know, that's just that Soprano humor again.
That was great. That was great in every sense of the word, bro.
Yeah, it really was. Then we go to the hospital. We get a small scene, Little Carmine and Johnny Sack. They hug each other and he say, you know, you were like a son to him. I don't really have nothing else to add to that. We get a phone call between Chris and Paulie, and they basically just have this like kind of family matter scene where they just like, I mean, I'm glad nothing, man. You know, somebody could have got hurt last night, man. They're just, this dude has a whole family of kids. This man's still dead at the back where the dumpster is with a tip, you know, with no tip or nothing. Now he's just dead in his uniform. And they just having this sentimental heart-to-heart moment. Like, it's crazy, bro. They show us again why these guys are not supposed to be likable. Like, it's do a wonderful job. Anything I want to add to that phone call?
That's their version of a trauma bond.
Mm-hmm.
Right. We killed a motherfucker last night because we was beefing over a check.
Yeah, man. Come on, let's put this shit aside.
Crazy.
Oh, no tears for the nigga we rocked. It's just more like let this be a lesson that we should
let this be a lesson
treat each other better.
What?
Yeah. Bro, I did want to ask, do y'all think
and the man picked up a book and just started reading again, like he didn't even think twice about it.
Yeah, it wasn't even, Do y'all think, and this is, I've been trying to track this, do y'all think Paulie really cares about Chris? Okay.
Dang. Paulie know how to play the game.
Dang, I always hoped he did. That was just always something I hoped.
Think he gave two fucks about Chris. I think he was jealous of Chris because of Tony's relationship with him, and he alludes to it a lot.
But he's like,
cousin.
But he does. But he's like more when it comes to like Ralph is like he really jealous about Ralph versus Chris. Like it's like Chris is like
shit, though. He had a reason to hate Ralph.
Okay, yeah, but like when Chris, like you know, even when
Chris.
Well, go ahead.
I was just gonna say the only reason that he disliked Chris was because of nepotism. He felt like the Chris is taking my shine away. Like the only reason that Chris is in this position because he Tony's cousin. And that's rooted in all of his beefs with Chris. He had a real legit beef with Ralph. Like you was playing with me. Like you violated me, bro. He never have a legit beef with Chris other than I'm jealous of how you moving around because you related to Tony. Tony should look at me like that. He don't look at me like that.
All right. I could dig that. We get Melfi in a group therapy setting, I'm assuming, and Tony comes back again. He tries to take her to Bermuda. This is nasty work.
Is this too much?
Oh, this is way too much.
After the first two were denied, Bermuda is nuts.
It's crazy. Like you think I'm gonna leave out of town?
I want to fly you out now. Yeah,
let's get flued out. But he goes in, he's trying to say, figure out what it is. And she had already dressed early. Like, I think your mug is fine. Like, you're nice looking or whatever. She addressed all this stuff. But here he said he tries to be like, okay, just give it to me straight up. She says, you're not a truthful person. You're not a respectable. He said, you don't respect women or people in general. She said, you take what you want from people by force or threaten them. And she's like, all right, I get it. And then he leaves out and he basically gets a puss about it, and he gets out and calls her a see you on next Tuesday. Anything y'all want to add to this scene?
Yeah.
I just love how it
spoke for itself. I like how she held her
did.
own. Like, Dr. Melfi is one of the strongest characters in this world because she's one of the few people that can stand up to Tony and stand on like, nah, this is what's correct. It ain't how you see it. It ain't who you are. It's how everyone else or the world would normally look at it. She does a great job of providing a perspective.
And I knew this would happen. From Dr. Melfi, I knew this would happen. For one, you know how hard it is to like just let someone down in general. Take the patient-doctor relationship out of it. Just to like, you cool, I don't got no issue with you, but I don't see you in that way. And you super persistent. Like it's not on something like you came up to me at the bar, you try to get my number, I said no, and everybody go about their life. Like, you keep coming and coming and coming over. Like on this shit, and it's like, nah, I can't do it. So now I finally, because you asked me, let's emphasize that you asked me to keep it real. I'm keeping it real, and you don't like the answer. It's just on brand for Tony. His temper tantrum, his outburst, and for her, I'm sure it had to be satisfying to know, like I knew how this was going to play out, and I'm glad I stood my ground because I'm glad I can get cussed out now than in Bermuda. Because Dr. Melfi would have went to Bermuda and told him he ain't getting no ass, and he would have really been sick.
Yeah, no two Tonys, no two Tonys out in Bermuda, man. Yeah. Lastly,
Yeah, we just learned to ignore you, man. It's like the kid in school when the teacher say, if you keep laughing at his jokes, he's gonna keep going.
I'm trying.
You just gotta ignore him.
I'm trying to bait y'all, Chris.
Yeah, don't fucking bait. Stop fucking baiting me, Paul.
All right. Lastly, Tony drives to Carmela's, and pretty much Tony comes to take over the shift. Only question I got to ask is why did he decide to come here?
Come on, man.
That's where he felt most comfortable.
That's what happens when you look.
Like,
yes,
my
man.
house,
you go back home.
My kid. This my wife. Like all this shit is mine, bro. And something is threatening. And something is threatening that location. Something is threatening that peace, presence that I like in my home. Like this is my shit. I have to. I was just turned down, so I got to go assert dominance somewhere else. Like Tony didn't give a fuck about that bear. Like that bear could have came out, he would have shot it out with that bear like fucking John Wayne out there in the backyard because that's just that was the place that he was in. Like I need to assert my dominance somewhere. I'm sending Benny home. Get out of here. One, what is he doing? He ain't even outside. I like how he questioned. What the fuck was it? What did he have going on? Why he in my office? But two, I'm going to assert my dominance. I need to feel somewhere where I am Tony Soprano because he just left a place where he wasn't. That don't happen to Tony Soprano what Dr. Melfi did to him. So I need to go back to a place that I'm familiar at.
2004, Chris Rock had a stand-up special called Never Scared. And one of his jokes, he was talking about marriage. And he said, you either married and bored or you single and lonely. Ain't no happiness anywhere. And that was the prime definition in my eyes because when my pops used to always tell me, man,
that's a bar right there.
That is a bar. Rock had that. Absolutely.
Yeah, I didn't know he had that.
I'm thinking about that. I'm processing that like, God.
He should just talk and not make jokes.
Nah, for real.
I think that was a joke though.
Like Chappelle.
That's what I'm saying. It's not funny though. You should just talk.
Yeah, you either married,
put him on a podcast, like
Yeah, you either married and bored or you single and lonely. And it reminds me of something my pops used to tell me I never understood until I was a grown man. He used to say, like, women, you can't live with them, can't kill them. You know what I'm saying? Usually it's a can't live with them, can't live without them, can't live with them, can't kill them. Like you stuck in this middle ground, bruh. Like it's life is shitty when you with them, it's shitty when you ain't.
Yeah, that's true.
And like you gotta find your happiness or your peace somewhere.
Yeah. Nah, he ain't lying, bro. He was on it.
And I think anybody who's complained about their relationship and took a break or whatever you want to call it and went out in the field, went to go see what it was like out in the streets and realized, oh hell no, the streets ain't for me.
You see the sewerage, the sewer that it is outside. Yeah,
absolutely. You like, hell no, I'm going back home. And I felt like that was Tony's last chance. That's because we got to think Tony's never going to stop having Gumars. But I do think Dr. Melfi was one of the last people he could say, I could see myself with her, building a life.
Redirection.
And once that got shut down, let me go back to what I know.
There's one more person.
Okay.
You know, there's, this season, obviously. But I think, we talked about it.
Wait, what?
Remember I'm not going to say all of it again, but on our last episode, somebody said, which episode are you more excited about? Long-term parking or irregular around the margins? And so when we talk about that, we go to a But he said it, though. He said it. That's in Tony and Ken and Tony. That's what Tony said. He said, I could see myself starting over, doing it right this time. He considered it. I mean, it may not be as deep.
I don't believe that.
That's like when your homeboy tell you some shit. When you know your homeboy, he always do that. He always like gas himself up, and then you like, I know how this gonna end.
It's just like a lightweight.
Yeah, he couldn't have did that.
No, he couldn't have. I ain't saying he couldn't have. I mean, could have. I'm just saying, like, thought about somebody.
I think he even fooled himself into thinking that was a possibility. Yeah. That was never a possibility. I can't.
We don't believe you. You need more people.
Yeah,
like, I'll keep a close watch on it.
He ain't that dude.
Nah, but that is our episode, man. Season 5, episode 1, 2 Tonys. What an episode. So before we get out of here, we'd like to leave y'all with some rankings. So without further ado, Spike Lou, how do you rank this episode?
This was just another envelope, made, good earner. That's the ranking scale, right?
Mm-hmm.
Good earner is the middle. Made is the top of the top.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this was a good earner. It's a good earner. It's a way to open up season 5.
What say you, Rich?
Good earner, 100%. It's a good earner. Good earner. Way too much to be just another envelope, not enough to be made.
I've been back and forth about it.
Don't do it. Make the consensus, Mo. Don't do it. Fight the demon inside you.
I'm sorry, even with my favorite scene of the episode, it's still just another. And that scene was good enough to take this up to another rank.
There was a lot of stuff to make this up to ranks.
But yeah,
even Janice, even the revealing that Janice and Bobby was married.
I mean, yeah, the way they played with updating us on the information was genius level. But I just think from an entertainment standpoint, nothing about this was entertaining, and it's too much.
Even Chris and Paul.
That's crazy. That's crazy, Mo.
I do like that. I think that was really good.
This is one of the most memorable scenes I feel like in The Sopranos is that waiter scene.
Yeah, this is a scene though.
Yeah, but
you think about Pine Barrens, you think about a scene. You could think about
that's a made episode.
Well, okay, that's made, but like
going all the way to the top.
I would have I would have to go back to. I had to go back to some of the rankings prior to, but
that's how you feel though. I ain't trying to do the Shannon Sharp Amanda Seals thing.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Make sure how you feel.
Everything like stop. Like where'd you get that from?
How was that racism,
bro? So who gets a good earner chain?
That was a nasty ass interview.
Nasty.
That interview was disgusting.
Yeah, you gotta stay in your depths, man.
Yeah, man.
Know your strengths.
To the deep end.
Know your strengths.
Yeah, boy had too much dip on his chip.
Way too
much dip on the chip, man.
Chill. Who gets a good earner chain for you this episode, Spike Lee? It's a very interesting episode.
Good earner chain for me this episode would go to try to avoid giving it to Tony, but this is a really good Tony episode. Jeez.
I got mine if you want me to go.
Go ahead.
My good earner chain is going to Feast Lamana. Feast Lamana back out. I was going to give it to the whole class of 04 for being released after 20 years.
That's not bad.
But Feast specifically, we see him making a play. That's why I'm giving it to him individually. We know that he wants to get back in. He got the blessing to get back in. Here he is back on his feet. Next episode, we're going to see he got enough going already to get somebody else an envelope who comes home. So it's like Feats just getting the ball rolling. Like, I've been here. Not only have I been a part of this life, I ran my own crew. Like, there's nothing you can really teach me or tell me. I just need the setup to get back in the game. I just think from doing a 20-year bid and coming home to that and having enough pull or my reputation says enough to where I can just get right back in it without any kind of questions. Like, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm going to figure it out. Trust me. Just, I got it. Nobody, usually it's like, oh, you can take over this business, take over that business. No, I got it figured out. I just wanted to make sure y'all was good with it. Gotcha. I got to give him the good earner change for that.
I would go with Dr. Melfi. I didn't fold. Like, I held my ground because I know I'm a professional and I know what this, like a lot of people, well, a lot of women in Dr. Melfi's position would have folded and they wouldn't have held their ground in sense of whatever type of ethical thing they had going on. So I would say Dr. Melfi.
Yeah, and she said, "You don't know me."
That's a good pick too, Rich. Yeah.
She said, "You don't know me." Like, I love that. I didn't get to say
I know you. And you know me from a professional basis.
Yeah,
and I think that happens too. Like, even with us at work or something, like somebody at work could be talking, you'd be like, "Bro, like, where you get that bullshit from? This is a work me. Like, I don't know you."
Yeah,
like,
you don't know me, bro. Like, I love. That's why I love that. My who gets a good earner chain for me is Johnny Sack. Johnny Sack just was in his bag of like, yeah, we up, nigga.
That's a good one.
We up. Like, yeah, I'm making the calls. Let me call.
Winter is coming, nigga.
Yes, let me call your brainless son real quick and tell him like, hey, matter of fact, I ain't gonna even. That's my boss, but man, go ahead, get that egg salad out of his mouth, bro.
Like, Johnny said, get this nigga the fuck up out of here.
Yeah, zip him up.
Get him out of here. And I ain't fucking with you. Get him out of here, zip him up, and I ain't fucking with you. It's my turn. It's my turn.
Stick a fork in him. He's done. Johnny Sack,
bro. I wonder if I can smoke in here,
bro. Yeah, I ain't forgot about I ain't forgot about last year. Like, nigga's up. He's already setting up plays in his mind. Yeah, I ain't forgot about last year when you was right, bro.
Johnny Sack been waiting on this moment.
He been waiting on this moment.
Oh my God, what? Nigga, we in the hospital. I'm gonna let you know how I feel about you, Tony. Yeah, I'm up.
Yeah, boy. So that's why I said Johnny Sack, bro. You got comfortable real quick. Who gets a Broken Balls award for you, Spike?
The Broken Balls Award for me this episode, I'm gonna say it goes to Carmella, man.
That's a good pick.
Carmella took a lot of shit this episode. The Bear, AJ, Tony, even the Rangers and shit not being able to do nothing about the Bears. Like, there's a sympathetic place in my heart for single mothers and doing that thing since I came from that type of household. So her having to deal with all that, even though I know she got a lot of perks, but just her having to deal with all that and being new to that world, yeah, she definitely gets it.
That's a good one.
That's a really good one. I like that one.
Yeah,
oh man, I'm gonna go Tony. I'm gonna say Tony got the. I think he could have easily gotten the good earner chain and the broken balls, mainly because at the end of the day, it all leads back to home. Like no matter what I'm trying to accomplish out here, my ambitions and my vision is one thing, but I'm realizing, like I mentioned earlier, these same old tricks ain't gonna get it done. And I've tried persistently. He tried all episode to get with Melfi, just to turn around and go back home. The one place I'm pissed off about, we know he didn't want to get separated, but we also know there's nothing in Tony. Here's what's crazy. We didn't talk about this. I'm not going to talk long about it, but not once did Tony stop, take a look in the mirror, look at his actions and behaviors, and say, what can I do to get my family back? It was straight up, no, Carmella, you chose this. You fucked up. Like, you wild.
That's a fact.
And even next episode, when we get to episode 2, that's where Mo's favorite line comes from. It's a mindset. Like he just, it's just all of that. So I just think that he's realizing quickly that things are going to have to change. And like I said, the class of 2004 getting out, things are changing on the horizon. I need to pivot. I need to get back focused. I can't have these dumbass distractions. I need to make sure I'm on my game for these changes that are taking place. I could have went with Raul. I could have went with Chris. There's a lot of people, but I wanted to go a little bit different with Tony.
I was going to go with Janice because she lost her ring and she burnt the roast, but I'm going to go with the waiter, bro. You didn't know that this day was
Raul.
Oh, Raul, okay.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
I got to. You didn't know this was going to be your last day on earth. You thought you got courage. You got courage that day, knowing you got a family at home, got daughters and all that, and you got courage that day to want to go track down, and you got murked. Like
you needed that bread.
Yeah, bro. I mean, bro, you better take that $16 and get some Happy Meals, bro.
Go to the next table, my nigga.
Yeah, bro. Now you're a ghost. You know what I mean? What are you gonna do?
Is it me, or is the end of this episode in its own little weird way very similar to Blue Comet? Like the ending of it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yep, it is.
I just love that. I just love that shot of Tony with the cigar, with the shotgun out. Yep. Like I said, completely different scenario, but
yeah, same.
I've talked about Blue Comet, man. That's just one of those episodes of TV where I remember the ending of it and just the feeling, that little score that they played over that final scene was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like Blue Comet, when we get there though, Blue Comet is like the maximize on the mafia side of this show, and then we get to like the one that the Soprano home movies is like the maximize of the other side of the show, the family aspect. That's a great pool. So we get two super maxes of that's what makes it season 6 work so well. But lastly, what's your favorite moment of the episode, Spike Lee?
Paulie putting up on Chris about the bill. When the U-turn in the street, not even greeting him, blowing the horn, like the whole. It's fascinating that Paulie looks at money the way that he does, and the observations like we talked about with him killing the old chick, even this, like just the observations of how he views money and what he's owed throughout this series is amazing. So that's it.
Okay, Rich, what's your favorite moment?
It's got to be that second dinner scene when Paulie's running up the tab on Chris. Everything about that was just so accurate. The irritation, the way Paulie was going about it, the way he was baiting him, doing the extra shit. Nah, bro, I ain't going for none of it. Which obviously leads into Raul, the waiter, losing his life. But all of that combined was it was peak. And it's fitting because they brought up Pine Barrens this episode. It was peak Paulie Christopher.
Yep.
And just that dynamic. A second place I would say is that Dr. Melfi Tony scene at the end. When he asks her to tell him, she starts telling him, he is what the fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you, cunt.
You got straight to it, boy. No shocker here. It's the Melfi dream.
You a wild boy.
And this episode, man, thank y'all for tuning in.
You a wild boy.
I don't even think I need to explain why, but there's other people out there that's somebody's on my side here.
You're a wild dude, man.
Hey, man, what are you gonna do? You know, this has been our episode of Good Earners, man. We thank y'all for tuning in. If y'all want to reach out to us, goodearnerpod@gmail.com. If y'all want to email us in, we're on YouTube as well, leave a comment there, subscribe, share, like, all of those things. Y'all can also follow us on Instagram, goodearnerpod_Sopranos. We keep you updated there. We also drop memes from time to time. So y'all can tune in and find us there. We appreciate y'all for listening. And remember, don't forget about it.